It is time to get raw. It is time to get down. It is time for the RAWDOWN, the number one source for all things WWE, right here at the Turnbuckle Tavern. I am one of your hosts, Young Anthony, and I am joined with my two stooges, as I am every week.
What?
First, the MVP himself.
We have two guests here.
Always. It's always the host and two guests.
Here we go.
Oh, okay.
Here
Yeah.
we go.
First,
Okay.
I have the MVP, Marco of the FOLEY show and Open Mic. Marco, how are you doing?
I'm good. I mean, I'm not going to listen to what you said. I'm going to take some words from Mike Belcaster, who I did the wrap up with last night, the AEW wrap up. And, he said I was the brains of this show. So, I mean,
Well,
I'm going to go with
You're lying.
whatever Magic Mike Belcaster says.
Magic
goes,
Mike
so.
Belka.
Magic Mike is never
great.
wrong. And I am also joined with the boniest member. He's back after yelling at some guy to stop sleeping on the job. He's back this week. J-Bone of Coming Down the Aisle. How you doing, bud?
It's Uncle J-Bone.
Uncle Boney.
Uncle Boney.
Uncle Howdy. Well, we're about to say howdy to the Royal Rumble in a few days. That was a bad transition. The Royal Rumble is coming up. It was all right. It was all right.
You're a great guy.
What a great guy. We got a lot of energy on this opening. I guess it's Rumble season. Everyone's feeling a little bit more
I'm excited.
Feeling a little excited. Well, let me give you a quick rundown of how this show is going to go. First, we're going to jump right into some Rumble predictions. We got 3 matches that we're going to talk about, but we're going to leave you waiting for the meat and potatoes, the main events, the Royal Rumble matches. We're going to wait until the end of the show to talk about that because there was a little show called Raw is 30.
No, it's Raw is XXX.
Raw is XXX, Raw is 30, whatever you want to call
That's
it.
what that was.
Well, we'll get to it. We're surely going to break down everything that happened on that show. But first and foremost, I think it's time that we get into the Royal Rumble predictions because this show is very interesting. There's a lot that I'm excited about. There's a lot that I'm
not excited.
Not excited about. But there's a lot of things that I'm interested in. Like I want to see more of it.
This is a 3-match card. Let's face it. Okay.
Well, I'll defer to you first. Tell me how your excitement levels for the Royal Rumble.
It's the 2 Rumbles and the Universal Championship match. Like, I'm sorry to the women, but I mean, to be fair, that's how, WWE's booked it so far. They've booked it, which is part of probably Marco's gripe and my gripe with Raw is 30 is we'll get to it a little bit. I mean, it was great segment, but anyways, I just it's a 3-match card, to be honest with you. So
Marco, go ahead. How are you feeling about the Royal Rumble?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't look at it like that. I mean, I always look at the Royal Rumble as, it's the main objective is the Royal Rumble matches, which is obviously the men's and women's. So I never really, take into consideration those singles matches. Only if there's obviously a pending storyline, which is what's happening now. And I know last week we were talking about, I think I said in our chat, I didn't know this. I totally forgot that, the Royal Rumble doesn't have the main event, the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. I'm expecting to see Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns as the main event match and see the Royal Rumble before that. And then you'll see, whoever wins the Royal Rumble, they'll go into that Roman Reigns match and see who, because I feel like that's going to be the climactic part to that whole show. I don't think the Royal Rumble is technically taking a back seat, essentially, I think, this time around to this whole storyline with the Bloodline and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I think from there, that's where you're going to see the road to WrestleMania. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I look at it as the Royal Rumble. I don't really pay attention to the singles matches, but no offense to Bianca and Alexa, and the Mountain Dew. What is that? The pitch black Mountain Dew.
The Mountain Dew KFC Honey Mustard Pre-Show Battle Royal.
Yeah, whatever that is. Yeah.
This
Those
is
are
a
kind of
Scott's Builder Turf buried alive, man.
those are kind of like the fillers, like that you're gonna put those matches in between, or maybe open. Who knows? But yeah. I mean, I'm excited for the Royal Rumble. I'm not down about it at all.
Yeah.
I can't wait. It's just an interesting time right now for this Royal Rumble. It's just so strange because you have no clue what the hell is going to happen, who's going to show up, how it's going to end, where this is going. I mean, know.
It's the Rumble. I'm always going to be excited for it every year.
Yeah, of course.
It's not my favorite pay-per-view of the year. I know a lot of people say that it's their favorite of the year. I'm always a WrestleMania guy, but I mean, the Royal Rumble is always a fun match. And the fact that now we get 2 every year, I mean, that's always exciting as well.
Yeah.
And the Women's Royal Rumble has been like a consistently good match over the last few. I mean, there was a better Women's Royal Rumble last year than there was the Men's Royal Rumble. I think everyone
I think so.
Everyone
Yeah.
can say that. And I mean, speaking of how bad the Rumble was last year, I feel like this is going to be kind of a spark to make sure that this Rumble is better than what we saw last year.
Yeah.
And I think that they have a pretty good card lined up for it. I think you can see some, interesting ways that we can go into Mania. Obviously, this is always the start of the road to WrestleMania. So they're going to start off this Triple H-led road to WrestleMania with a bang. And I mean, the amount of predictions that we've been hearing, the amount of rumors for the Rumble, everything you take with a grain of salt. But I mean, even with it being, like you said, J-Bone, a 3-match card, which to an extent I agree with because of the way that they've been building up some of these matches.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think that you could see a lot of interesting stuff in this show. And I say that we kick things off on RAWDOWN predictions in an interesting way. And we just go right into what Marco was calling the main event of the show, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship.
Damn.
Going up against, Roman defending his title against Kevin Owens. Obviously, there is the X factor of Sami Zayn. We heard on the trial of Sami Zayn, which we'll be talking about. I'm sure we'll be mentioning it now, but we'll talk about it later. That Sami Zayn is going to have one final test at the Royal Rumble. We don't know what that is yet. And maybe we could start there. I mean, Sammy's going to get involved in this show. He's going to get involved at the Royal Rumble in some capacity. But what do we think that this final test that Roman is saying is going to be?
Real quick, too, by the way, this is the 3rd time that Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns face off at Royal Rumble for the Universal Championship.
It was mentioned on the Chick Foley show. I think this is the first time in WWE history that 2 men fought for the same title in the same show in the same arena.
Right. Yeah.
Because this is at the Alamo Dome.
Yeah.
And obviously that happened in 2017 for the
Chris Jericho was in the shark cage.
Yes, he was. Maybe we'll see a shark cage on or maybe we'll put Sammy in the shark cage just to come full start. No, we won't. But let's start here. What do you guys think is going to be this final test for Sammy? Because I think this is a really interesting angle that they're going with.
Well, it's got. I mean, to some sense, you have some sense. I guess I shouldn't say some sense, but the obvious choice here is okay. Well, he's got to help Roman win, right? But is it kind of like what Seth and Sheena were saying on the Chick-fil-A show this week? I think Seth mentioned it. Like, is it that he has to win the Royal Rumble? Is that the final test? I am kind of leaning towards that because I think, if I'm going with my prediction of him going into Elimination Chamber, he's going to have to, he's going to be turned on by this week, right? So the final test would be he would have to win the Royal Rumble, right? If not, then maybe he'll get expelled. We'll see. I don't want to spoil my picks too much, but that would have to be the test, or maybe he's got to do both. Roman's a ruthless man. Prove your loyalty. Do it all.
Marco, what are you thinking?
What do you mean do both? When just
he's got to win the Royal Rumble, and he's got to help Roman win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking one of the choices could be special guest referee. He's going to make him referee the match.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably the most logical choice.
That's really good, Marco. Kudos. Yep.
You're going to call it down the middle.
Yeah.
that type of thing. So that's going to be the final test. Is he going to count the 1, 2, 3 and really prove his loyalty to the bloodline and ensure that Roman Reigns keeps those prestigious titles on his shoulders? That's what I think is going to happen. I did flirt with the idea of him entering the Rumble, but he would have to, obviously, it would be like, you have to enter the Rumble and you have to win it. That way, like, if he does win, he's not going to choose Roman to face at WrestleMania. It negates the whole idea of the winner because he's a part of the bloodline. Why would he choose a fight?
Well, I'll get into some potential theories on that though. But
same here.
That yeah, I think what happens if they do go the Royal Rumble route, he has to win the Rumble. He's getting tossed out by someone in the bloodline. That's something that's going to happen. I mean, he's not winning the Rumble. I'll tell you that much. I know I'm not sure if you guys are going that far as to predicting a Sami Zayn win at the Royal Rumble, but
I'll spoil the picks, Marco.
I'll say he comes close, but then someone from the bloodline tosses his ass, which is probably Solo Sikoa. I'm assuming because he'll be in the Rumble. I don't think the Usos are going to be in the Rumble. I'm not sure. I don't know why I don't see them in the Rumble unless it's just to help, help Sammy if he is in the Rumble, help him win. I don't know. We'll see how that goes, but I'm thinking my prediction is special guest referee or special enforcer for this match, and that's going to be the ultimate test. Are you going to choose me to win, or are you going to choose your lifelong friend Kevin Owens? Just because Kevin Owens said he's going to win or die trying, and that really stuck with me when he said that. So there's something behind that, to me anyway. I'm not sure what he has planned. I'm not saying he's going to win the titles from Roman or something's going to happen where they have to split the titles. I don't know. Something weird's going to happen.
I hate that. I hate the idea of
I think this Rumble. I don't think they're really going to do anything in Elimination Chamber. That's kind of like a filler pay-per-view before WrestleMania. I think anything that's going to set forth WrestleMania is going to happen at Royal Rumble. Just the craziest shit's going to happen.
I mean, I feel like Sammy has to get involved in this match in some capacity, be it to cost someone the match, or I like the idea of a special guest ref or an enforcer or whatever it may be. So I'm excited to see like where Sammy falls into all of this. I mean, I think it's safe to say that we're all going for Roman on this. You're not going to walk into WrestleMania not having Roman as your champion. So we can kind of all just tack on. Go ahead, Marco.
I
would shut you down, but I mean, I'm trying to.
I was also fun with the idea of obviously you could still have Roman go into WrestleMania, main event it without the titles. If I mean this is a far crazy scenario, but I don't see it like as a crazy idea that a WrestleMania main event match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens could happen with the titles on the line.
Wow, it's not happening.
I don't know about the titles.
It's not. I mean, I don't see I could see that happening.
I could see
I don't think it's gonna happen, but I could see it happen.
I could see them being in the match, and I think that's like one of the 3 things that I could see Sammy doing. At Mania, but I think that's number 3 on my list as far as like where Sammy falls. But I mean, Sammy versus Owens is just like that's a textbook match. You can always go back to that whenever. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it at Mania, but I mean, we just saw it at Mania, so maybe not. But okay, so we're all going with Roman. We'll get back to some more Sammy talk when we get to the Raw's 30 segment, because I'm sure we'll all have some.
It's Raw's XXX.
Raw is XXX. Raw is whatever. All right, let's get into the women's title match. We have Bianca Belair defending her championship against Alexa Bliss. We've been vocal about Alexa Bliss over the last few weeks. Ever since Bray Wyatt came back, she's been doing the spooky stuff and womp womp.
Yeah.
But regardless, Bianca versus Alexa seems like it's going to be a pretty good match. It'll be a good showcase for Bianca. I'll go first on the predictions here. I do think Bianca's going to retain. There's no way that she can't. The same thing as Roman. Like, although these are going to be some good matches for Bianca and Roman, there's no way that you can walk into Mania and not have Bianca as the women's champion. I think it would be interesting if they went with Alexa, if it was not the spooky Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy Alexa, if they were doing something different, or
Miss Bliss,
or just going back to what works.
That's what she needs to do. I mean,
I don't know why they're not doing
that's
it.
what she was the hottest. Like, you know, like she had the most heat as a heel then, you know. I mean, that's dumb. So
I mean, I feel like Alexa's just been floating around since, and this is this is not knocking her, because I feel like even with the role that she's been given as a baby face, as whatever she's doing, I still feel like she's doing a really good job. I've been praising her acting skills on RAWDOWN since like the start of the show. I feel like she's really good, and she's someone that can transit.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real. The possession, spitting black goo. That's all real, pal. She's someone that I could see making that transition from, going from wrestling to acting. So I think there's no knock on her talent, but I think ever since, I would go as far as tag teaming with Nikki Cross and winning the tag titles, she's just been floating around in the division. And it sucks because she used to be, like you said, J-Bone, the hottest heel in the company. Women's champion, was going against Ronda. And now she's just doing nothing. And when you have a chance for her to turn heel and go back to what she was doing before all of this happened, here she is once again playing buddy with Uncle Howdy. Like, come on. There's no reason to do this. I hope that they find a way to make this, if we have to go the spooky route, make this whole Alexa Bliss thing interesting. It'll be hard because I don't like pairing Alexa and Bray again. Bianca wins, and it'll be interesting to find out who's her opponent at Mania.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much everything you said, I agree with. I don't see Bianca losing this. Plus, it'll be a nice story to have her like go calendar year with the title. Go into WrestleMania with it. I mean, I heard some things like, okay, put it on Alexa, let Bianca chase, but she's not that guy, pal.
Yeah. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
So, So I'm gonna go Bianca here.
Yeah,
Marco, I'm guessing you're the same.
Yeah, we're all in unison.
What
Alexa,
a bunch of great guys.
Yeah, I mean, like you kind of like piggyback off of what you said with Alexa. Yeah, she's kind of like a filler position right now for Bianca, because I have some other critiques about the women's division right now.
Yep.
Where it's obviously not where it is. It's not flourishing like it once was, personally, to me anyway. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have noticed that. And right now the pickings are slim for a strong competitor to the, the Raw Women's Championship anyway. Obviously you have Rhea and Raquel maybe, but after that, like, where do you go?
Jesus Christ, I think maybe we need a little work there.
I kind of talked about this a little bit last night on the AEW wrap up. I'm not sure why. I think because we were talking about the AEW, the women's division, and how they're kind of like at one point it was AEW's women's division was like down here and WWE was like way up here, like untouchable. No one can do it if he was back. Yeah. Now it's like this.
Mm-hmm. Slowly,
they're slowly like even or kind of teetering right now, and it's weird to see.
That's how it's been for like basically since AEW started. Like, it's like, oh man, the women's division. Well, for women's division was horrible when AEW started, and then it's like slowly started progressing, and then And then WWE caught up, and it was like, oh, it's just a seesaw back and forth.
Yeah, but this time around, it just seems like there's no star power now in the WWE's women's division.
I say there's more star power than AEW.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not showcasing it as
I
much.
think that's just longevity, having those stars around in NXT, building them up. But yeah, there's definitely more star power.
No, I'm talking about like currently, like on the main roster, as far as like who do you see? Bianca.
Well, no, I mean, you've had the time to build up those stars. Well, first of all, I mean, you have Charlotte, Becky, Bailey, Bianca. That's what I mean. They've all come from NXT. So you had the time to build them up properly. And they've just been around longer. I mean, Charlotte's been around longer than AEW's been in existence. So
I'm thinking, I'm saying like now,
but...
for me, WWE, it's the same people. There's like,
oh, well, yeah.
I think, I don't want to give Sasha Banks all the credit, but I think she kind of crippled that the everything that was happening there when she left. Pulling Naomi away, pulling her away. Charlotte coming back probably wasn't supposed to come back like anytime soon. It was probably supposed to be the Rumble. Ronda Rousey kind of, damaging the women's division when like in her storylines and her matches and stuff like that. Like it's just obviously a lot has happened on SmackDown where it comes to the women's division, but just for me, it just seems like, I don't know. It's not, the women's division isn't as exciting as it was a few years back.
Well, the part of that too is like kind of like you mentioned it. It's so heavy on Raw and light on SmackDown,
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like you tune in to watch SmackDown and you just see, and then you go to Raw and it's, it's decent.
Even that, it's not like Raw's not that great.
Right.
Like,
it's decent. I mean, it could be better, but you still have the star power more heavily on Raw.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
in that
but
conversation,
there's definitely some issues for sure.
Yeah. That conversation definitely continues for the Raw 30 when we get to that. With a lack of appreciation for the women's division on there as well, which is so like it kind of like all, if you think about that and then you think about what's going on now, it seems like it's, I don't know.
I mean, they have to bring Charlotte back, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So,
well, we'll definitely talk about Raw 30 in a bit. We got one more match to get to. I was going to
Raw is XXX.
Oh my God. There's one more match we have to get to. I was going to throw in a bonus question of, will Uncle Howdy or Bray Wyatt get involved? But who gives a shit? Who cares? So I'm sure the bonus questions and the tiebreakers we're going to come with the Royal Rumble anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Are we moving on to the 1-800 contacts eye for an eye match?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1-800 contact.
Well, that ain't a knee slapper, buddy.
Good one. That was really
No
good
zombies
one.
in this one, hopefully.
Yep, it's time for. I'm gonna take my contact lenses out so I don't have to watch this one. It is the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. Bray Wyatt takes on
Yeah.
LA Knight.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you. Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy boy. Uncle boy Howdy. God damn. I don't even know where to begin with this.
I'm so confused, to be honest with you. Take the match stipulation out of it, right? I thought LA Knight was going in this as a babyface. And yet on Monday night, he calls out a legend, which is The Undertaker, gets completely squashed, and then Bray kind of gets the rub a little bit from The Undertaker,
I don't know. I thought he was a heel in it always.
I always thought he was a heel, which makes it even more confusing.
No, because he got attacked by Uncle Howdy. He got abducted by Uncle Howdy, and he was like, Uncle Howdy, show your face. He got,
But Uncle Howdy also attacked Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
So is Uncle Howdy the heel and Bray Wyatt's the face, and LA Knight just doesn't like. Okay, hold on. Before we go any further.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
The list of my 5 favorite wrestlers goes as such. The Undertaker.
Dylan.
I rip and I rhyme and I rip. This is the way that Dylan speaks.
Dylan Hornswoggle.
I did love me some Little People's Court. Number 1 is The Undertaker. Number 2 is John Cena. And this is all time because I'm a young,
Yeah, that's fine.
Number 1 is The Undertaker. Number 2 is John Cena. Number 3 is Roman Reigns. Number 4 is Bray Wyatt. And number 5 is Jeff Hardy. Bray Wyatt is my 4th all-time favorite wrestler. The stuff with the Wyatt family, the Firefly Funhouse, I loved all of that shit, which makes it hard for me to stand up here and say, this is so dumb. This whole thing makes no sense anymore. We got to Extreme Rules, and we were ranting and raving about how great this White Rabbit, these little clues, the QR codes, all of it was great. And it was. And then, of course, the debut, it was all great. And then it just kept going on that we saw nothing. And it was just the videos and it was the promos, almost like the complaints that we had with the Wyatt family years ago, that it was just the promos and they led to nothing. And he looked weak. And it kept going on until we finally got LA Knight in the mix of things. And we were like, okay, this is interesting. And still nothing happened. LA Knight has had to carry this whole feud based on his charisma alone. And sure, the Uncle Howdy stuff is interesting, but it's like you see him, you don't see him. Bray hasn't gotten physical whatsoever. It's been 5 months. He's wrestled at more house shows than he has on TV. This is and then look, I just said I like the Firefly Funhouse. I like the whole, Wyatt family with the rocking chair. But why are we seeing this in 2023? Can't we do something different? Look, like I said, I love Bray Wyatt. I love LA Knight. I love that they're going up against each other, but this match makes no sense, and I hate the way that they are going about. And maybe I just need to let it play out, like is normally the case with wrestling. It's just at the point where I don't know where this is going anymore. It's 5 months.
I mean, I understand your frustrations completely, but I think there is a plan in place. There's no way they're just randomly each week.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way there's okay. Now you go out and say this and make absolutely no sense. And then there is a plan in place. That's why I'm just like, I'm not too freaked out but I mean, look, I totally get your frustration. Yeah. I'm there with you too, but yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I get it too. I'm totally opposite of you. I love everything that's happening. Because you have no clue what the hell.
I'm in the middle.
I like it because I just like it because you have no clue what the hell's going on, and I don't think you're supposed to know what's going on. And that's the beauty of it. Like we live in a time where you have to know what's going to happen at the next part of the storyline. Why don't you just sit back and just watch, just fucking watch the show?
It's hard to just watch the show when there's like, can you honestly tell me that there has been any progression towards an end goal for this story in the 5 months?
Maybe there isn't supposed to be an end goal right now.
And you're not telling stories. You're just going out there and you're doing nothing. A story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. I'm sorry, but that's just the way I was taught in my script writing class in college. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Maybe this is a different way of telling stories.
Oh my God, give me a break. Yeah, let's rewrite the book.
Well, do you know
how to write stories?
Do you know Bray Wyatt as
generations?
But I don't get this. Do you know, like, if you're a Bray Wyatt fan, do you know him to be predictable?
I mean, define predictable. Do you mean saying spooky stuff and then losing? Because that's pretty predictable for Bray Wyatt. As a fan, I can say
as far as how the storylines go, like any of his storylines, you know where they're going when you're watching.
I mean, not really. I guess.
There you go. That's your answer right there. With him you can't. I think you're holding him to like a. Just like, or holding that whole storyline or whatever he's doing to like a standard of like beginning, middle, end.
Oh no, I'm not asking for a beginning, a middle, and an end. I'm just looking for more clarity.
Beginning. I think it's just beginning.
Yeah, Yes, I'm just looking for the beginning. I don't know where this feud is. And maybe that's the whole point. Maybe Bray Wyatt is watching this right now and he's just laughing. But that's, yes, you pinpointed it for me. There's no true beginning. Is the feud between Bray and Uncle Howdy? Is it between Bray and LA Knight? Is it between Bray and himself? Is it everything? Which makes no sense.
I hope we never know.
I hope
Personally,
we never know.
just for your just so you get angry at it. I hope we never find. I hope there's just. I hope it just ends in this. It just starts a new feud.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe the match doesn't even happen this weekend. We just move on to a whole nother feud. We start learning Wyatt number 3. We've already got 1 and 2. It's time for number 3 in this Wyatt 6.
I enjoyed seeing the Firefly Funhouse again. That was it's pretty funny.
It was cool, but like when you really think about it,
let me talk to you.
Hi, kid.
Let me talk to you. He does, yeah. Yeah. Let me talk to you.
We make movies.
Maybe the witch dropping F-bombs, dude. I missed that.
Oh, that was good. I liked seeing the witch again. It was cool to see it. Like I popped for it. I enjoyed it, but
you enjoyed
looking back on it. It's like where are we going with this, bud?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping. I'm with you. I'm hoping there's some type of not finish or like some type of some answers in this match. That's all. I think I'm hoping that's what they use.
And if there is, then I take it all back. But it's been 5 months.
You can't take it back.
Well, no, I'll take it back. I can do whatever I want. This is my show.
There's no take backs here, pal.
If we get something at the Royal Rumble that is like, okay, this is where we're going with this.
God.
I've been saying this for.
That's why you got to be patient.
I've been saying this for weeks now. If we get something that finally shows where we're going with this, I'll take it all back.
Let's go ahead and get into our predictions.
Okay, let's do it.
Because I have a bonus question with this.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. So Anthony, go for it. Bray or yeah.
All right. Well, this was a tough one to predict. Because like I said, I don't know where we're going with this, but I think I'm going to go with LA Knight on this one. Because it only makes sense. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for Bray if we're talking about the story here. It wouldn't make sense for Bray, who is, crazy up in the mind, man. He's got the 6 personalities. It wouldn't make sense for him to, muster up his courage and get all of his 6 friends together and beat LA Knight easily. There must be some internal struggle with him. So with that being said, I feel like we're going to get something with Uncle Howdy that he kind of costs him the match, or he cost himself the match, or, something like that. And LA Knight's going to take advantage and win. And I think it makes sense for LA Knight to win this because, like I said, this feud has been built off the back of his promos and his charisma. Like if LA Knight wasn't doing the stuff that he's been doing on the mic, there's no feud between LA Knight and Bray Wyatt whatsoever. I mean, even down to the little Mountain Dew promotional promos that they've been putting out, those little commercials.
Yeah.
He's a star. Like, there's no way, shape, or form that you can tell me that he isn't. And I mean, he's a clear favorite to win the Money in the Bank this year. He's just got it. He is very good, and he needs this win. If he doesn't win, it's going to be tough for him to, kind of build that back a little bit. So I think he's got to win this one.
I'll go next.
Go ahead.
So since this is the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, and
Mountain Dew Honey Mustard pre-show,
it's not the Home Depot tables, ladders, and chairs.
What was the one you said about the Buried Alive match?
It's Scott's Turf Builder.
Scott, yeah, there you
go. So because it's the Pitch Black, I actually agree with you, Anthony. I think it's 100% got to be LA Knight here. Because a couple reasons why. Well, I'll get into the reason because of my bonus question, but I also think LA Knight needs it more, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
If LA Knight loses this match, he's going to squash City, and I think Triple H is smarter than that. He's not, that's the difference between Triple H and Vince right there. It's like Triple H knows who needs the wins and losses. Even the wins and losses I know don't matter, but in this case it does, I think.
Oh yeah.
Because LA Knight needs the win right here. So if he gets squashed in this match, it's not going to look. And look, LA Knight wins, people are going to be furious.
Yeah.
So especially after what I saw Monday, LA Knight. LA Knight.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you.
What you
Go
got,
ahead,
Marco?
Marco. What are we thinking?
Yeah. Do we know the rules of this match?
No, we don't know the rules.
Should that also be a bonus question? What do you think are the rules of this match?
That's the thing. I don't know if you could pick a clear winner because it may not be a winner depending on what the rules of this match is. Is it a straight up disqualification, one like pin submission match?
Hawk refers to this type of match as "who's in my mouth."
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Will you stop?
Yeah, so depending, I think LA Knight wins, right? But I'm not sure if he wins clearly or decisively. Like I said, we don't know the rules of the match. We don't know like what the hell this match entails. Is it a cinematic match? Is it going to be held in the arena? We have no clue. I say he wins, but at the same time, it doesn't make Bray Wyatt look weak in winning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
he
you
does
can't.
win.
As much as we're talking about that LA Knight needs to win, you can't make Bray look weak.
Is it going to be? I think it's going to be something where like I said, if it's a cinematic match, like maybe like Bray Wyatt, he like beats Bray Wyatt down and leaves him in this like dark area, something like in this room. Or I don't know, something to the fact where it's like he's not being pinned or submitted or anything like that, where he's going to look weak. He's going to win in some type of fashion where Bray Wyatt can come out and do his spooky stuff again without being booed away. But yeah, LA Knight for the win.
I'm going to be honest. My prediction before we get into this bonus question, what the pitch black match is, the only thing that I could even think of what this could be is maybe something where it's like we start the match in the dark and then every few seconds a light shines somewhere in the ring.
Yeah. Okay.
Either that or it's just going to be a black light.
Right. Yeah. So there's something like that.
Yeah.
So that you can only see your opponent for a little bit of the time. Something weird like
or
that.
Be like
I think it could be a good match. I just pitch black. I think once you see the sponsored match, it's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's like the Mimosa match on AEW and they fight to throw someone else in a pool.
You're talking about the Sunny Delight Andre Mimosa match?
Yeah, the Sunny Delight Andre Battle Memorial Super Showdown Pitch Black match.
So Sunny D / Andre Champagne.
The Tropicana.
Such a good joke.
The Tropicana Invitational.
The Sunny D Mimosa match. Oh shit! All right. So what is this bonus question you have brewing for us?
Will Uncle Howdy be revealed during this match? You want me to start it off?
Go ahead.
I'm going to say yes.
Ooh. Well, elaborate. Why do you think that?
I think it's going to be part of somehow the finish of the match, potentially. So, and I think it's going to be because it's got to be something that completely like shocks Bray Wyatt. Like oh my god, I didn't know you were here, or even though he may know who Uncle Howdy is, you know what I'm saying? It might even be a swerve to him, so to speak. You know,
swerve,
what I'm saying?
Bro.
Yeah, swerve, bro. So I'm gonna go with yes.
I'll go with no, and I don't know, something about what we've seen with the Uncle Howdy kind of convinces me that it's the character Uncle Howdy. I feel like it's not a disguise for someone else, especially since like the mask that he's wearing seems to be like, it's not like a mask that he's going to take off. Like it's his face, yes, obviously it's not, whatever, but, I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't do a disguise and like build up this character in Uncle Howdy and then turn it into someone like Bo? Because in that case, why don't you just do Bo? You know, like you're going to build up this whole character of Uncle Howdy and, you know, give him this aura to him, and then you're just going to turn him into Bo leave. You know,
Bo leave rules, by the way.
Bo leave fucking ruled. Dude, when they were doing that win streak for him, that was the greatest time in wrestling. And then they fucking blew it and gave the win to R-Truth, and it made no sense. Right?
Yeah.
Was it R-Truth? I don't know.
I don't even remember. That's how bad. Like
He was on like a 16 match win streak,
Yeah.
and then they blew it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
One
But
of the
yeah.
greatest heels. that
One
they
of the
had.
greatest heels of all time.
Because it was a great gimmick. Like he like made it like he was like the sweet innocent boy.
Piper, Flair, and Bo.
Oh. But it was cool. It was like a cool heel gimmick where he was like, you know, the sweet guy, and you know, he gave you all these inspirational quotes.
It was
But then
such
he
a
was
good
just
character.
a complete asshole. Like he was like he was like evil.
You do the victory lap around the ring.
Yeah.
Like
So it was
so
awesome.
fun. When he knocked down El Torito doing the
Yeah.
victory lap. So good.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm with Anthony. I don't think anyone gets revealed as Uncle Howdy. I think he
Well,
makes an appearance.
Screw you guys, okay?
I think he shows up.
Yeah, he'll be there.
Yeah.
All right.
But good question though.
All right. Should we move on?
I think it's time to move on into, let me get it right this time. Raw is XXX.
Yeah.
It's Raw is 30.
Oh,
Yeah.
you were waiting for that one. Raw is XXX. Raw is 30. Whatever Raw was, I thought it was a good show. I'm sure.
Are you being sarcastic?
Oh, God. All right. I thought the majority of the show was a good show. I'm looking
Majority.
I'm looking for a graphic right now.
Which
so.
majority?
Oh man.
Well, okay. First of all, the first hour, trial of Sami Zayn.
Gold. Fucking gold.
Good.
Yes, absolutely.
Platinum. It's fucking
Let's-
platinum.
Let's kind of break this down. We've got some
After
time.
that-
Let's break down these. Let's break down these sites. Well, first of all, let's start from the top. Hulk Hogan. I think Marco was in the back messing with Hogan's microphone.
Yeah.
because-
I was with a switch. I was going off and on.
Poor Hogan. I did kind of, even though he's a racist piece of shit. I did.
No,
kinda
poor
feel
Jimmy
bad.
Hart that he had to be associated.
Yeah, baby. You're number one, baby. Yeah.
I don't even remember what Hogan said. He must have said something about the Philadelphia Eagles, dude.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
In Philadelphia, brother.
Philadelphia, dude.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's all. We'll get to him in a second. So that happened, and then the trial of Sami Zayn, and this is like
Masterpiece.
so fucking good. And just to think, this was not going to happen. It was originally going to be the acknowledgement ceremony with Rikishi, and then they turned it into this.
See, I have a theory that it wasn't. I don't even think that was going to happen.
Oh,
I think they had that planned all along.
you
No,
conspiracy
actually,
theorist, you.
So Rikishi couldn't make it, and Waltzmo's Alpha and Sika couldn't make it either.
Rikishi
think,
wasn't looking too fly that day. He couldn't.
I think Rikishi's sick or something,
No.
and then some kind of travel issues with Alpha and Sika. I don't
Feel
know.
better, Quiche.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's part of the reason why I got canceled.
I thought it was because of what happened on SmackDown. They changed it.
I'm sure that
Well,
was part of it.
Well, that was part. I mean, they booked SmackDown because they knew they couldn't be there. So
Right.
that's what I read. You know, so and that makes a little bit more sense to me.
Mhm.
So
But from what we got, I mean,
it's great.
every
It was
little
fantastic.
thing. Paul Heyman getting a good showcase. I mean, it's pretty rare at this point that we see like prime Paul Heyman on the microphone. He's kind of taking a step back to Roman, so it's always good to see him, making the 3 letters that they're chanting are
Excuse
dead.
me, sir.
Just
My
like
tri-
I wish Sami Zayn is dead.
My tribal chief, sir, if I may.
So good. But I mean, Roman at the head of the table. So like You can't get any more cinematic than Solo about to hit that spike and Jay coming out of nowhere.
Well, you're just skipping past the whole. You can't skip past. You got to skip. You're skipping past Roman Reigns' performance before.
Oh
that.
yeah, I mean Roman
Okay,
goes
come
without
on.
saying. Like yeah, Roman of course.
It sounded like a like an
Everybody.
embattled like person in a relationship, like your significant other, going, "You know you're gonna fight for this. You know you're gonna fight." The thing that
Yeah.
like, you sounded just like a like two couple like in a couple arguing.
I
Like,
mean,
you know,
Sammy
you're gonna
just,
fight
you
for
know.
this? You know you're gonna stand up for yourself after all I've done for you, after everything. Solo, that whole like
Oh, the
that whole part was awesome.
Solo.
Oh man, it was really good. It was probably the best segment in Raw. Probably
And let's, you know what? I want
probably
to
10 years.
I want to say this too. Anyone that's saying that any storyline other than the Bloodline storyline in wrestling at all is close to it, just I understand tribalism. People love, their respective, wrestling organizations, but there's nothing out there compared to the storyline.
Look,
I don't care.
AEW
Bring
is
whatever you want to do. I don't care whatever storyline you have.
Dynamite
in.
is consistently the best for the last few months. Dynamite has been the most consistent show in wrestling.
Yeah, as far as
period.
wrestling, yes.
They have great matches. It feels like every week has become just a super card with the amount of matches that they've been putting on. If anyone, even so much as thinks that anything, not just in AEW, but anything in wrestling comes even close to this Bloodline story, I'm sorry. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but your opinion is wrong. Or should I be more appropriate in saying
You're lying.
Come on, no, you get the you get the Jericho Appreciation Society and that storyline going with Ricky. No, Ricky. Oh, you got MJF and Daniel Bryan. No,
nothing?
not even
not
that,
even stuff. I mean, we're talking about AEW to compare, but not even stuff in WWE compares to this.
No, not even. No, not even close.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Someone's gonna come in the comments. Well, there's just really good story and impact right now. No, nothing.
This is someone in the comments.
Hear me out.
Okay. You get Bully Ray and no Bully Ray. No.
Well, Bully Ray and Josh Alexander, they really tore the house down.
Yeah. I mean they
which they did, by the way, but
they did. And Bully Ray is, he's definitely, great on the mic. He can definitely carry a storyline, all that stuff. But I mean,
he's still a shitty human being. But anyways.
Oh no.
Well, that's besides the point.
Is he? I don't
He's not a great guy.
He's a great
He's not a great guy.
Anyway, we'll continue with the with the Simone Spike almost and
so the Simone Spike almost, and then Jay coming out of nowhere. I mean, just the way it was filmed too, like, and then you get, I think one of the most underrated parts of the segment is Jimmy standing up. Everyone's talking about Jay, but like Jimmy joining his brother, throwing up the ones.
The only two of them doing it too. It was only them two.
That's true as well.
Solo, no Roman, no Heyman, just them two.
Yeah, and then of course, like I mentioned before, Sammy has one final test, and they all leave the ring. The one little thing that I wish that they got right on this was when Jay takes off his I forget what it's called. The necklace.
Yeah.
Whatever the correct word for that is. I apologize. He takes it off and he puts it on Sammy, but they cut away to Roman.
Yeah.
I wish they showed that. Because that's such a good fucking moment.
Yeah, because then he looked because Roman looked back like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing?
This is probably the best segment on Raw.
And followed up with the tag team match too as well.
Followed up with
yes.
I mean the tag team match is a whole nother.
The
first 50 minutes, this show was commercial free. The first 50 minutes they gave to the Bloodline, and it was from the beginning to end. It's one of the best just time slots.
It's one of those things, man. I'm not with the I know obviously Jimmy isn't injured, but I don't like the fake like, oh, I'm injured, someone else has to get in and do this. You can kind of see that was going to happen almost.
Yeah.
I think
Right,
it was
with
just
Jim-
like the build up.
It's fine for the
yeah.
story. It just adds a little bit
Yeah,
of flavor to
it works
the
here.
story.
But
Yeah.
then the thing that I looked at the most was when they were cutting back to the area where they're watching the match. When, Roman, Solo, Heyman, they're watching this match happen. And you can watch like Roman's reaction when he, Sami Zayn gets in the ring and blah, blah. You almost think he's going to lose and they end up winning. And you just see him just if that's not a test enough, I don't know what the hell the test is going to be. Like, that's where it leaves you. It's like this dude just jumped into a match and said, you know what, I'll take the responsibility of, we could lose these titles. I mean, it'll be on me if we do lose it. But then he ends up winning. And now you're Roman and you're like, fuck, this guy really does want to be in the, it makes me believe, does Roman want him to be in the bloodline? Did Roman now take what Jay had, that animosity towards Sammy, and now it's kind of peeled off of Jay, and now it's on Roman now, and now Roman has that hatred towards Sami Zayn for some reason, and he wants him out of the bloodline, but he's not as aggressive. He's more methodical than Jay is. With Jay's I hate your face, I hate your beard. And Roman's just Roman's more or less I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to try this. He's trying to get I think he's trying to get Sammy out of the bloodline, but he doesn't want to kick him out. He's just trying different ways to do it.
Or it could even go deeper than that. He just has this completely secret hatred for Jay, and he thought maybe that the fact that Jay didn't, because Jay and Sammy didn't get along, he was just going to blow up and remove himself out of the bloodline eventually.
Yeah.
But now that Sammy he's there on board, he's like, Sammy's got to go, and that's going to piss Jay off even more.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm a fucking writer.
But then here's what it also, I was thinking of doing. Are they circling back to now Jay and Roman feuding? Because it's full circle. The story began with Jay and Roman. Don't forget this. The bloodline story began with Jay and Roman fighting and feuding, getting together. Does it come back full circle now? Where
it could
now
go
they're feuding
either
again.
Mania or
kind of
SummerSlam, maybe even.
Yeah.
They lose the titles.
I mean, everyone's talking about, I love that we're just going on these different ways because there's so many ways that this could go. And everyone's talking about, it's Sammy choosing between Kevin Owens and the bloodline. But now with Jay kind of on the side of Sammy, it makes you think, what if this is going to completely split up the bloodline? Is this going to be Sammy picking between Roman, his allegiance to Roman, or the rest of the bloodline, primarily just Jay, showing their appreciation for him? And going even further, what if that's the test? What if Roman and Jay are kind of working together to kind of be okay, Jay is going to start siding with Sammy. Is Sammy going to still stick with Roman and be even with all of this, I still want to be with you? Or is he going to give in to the fact that Jay is, kind of affirming him and, being we need to stick with this guy, which in turn acknowledges someone else other than the tribal chief? And that's the test. And Jay is just in it in the whole thing, in the whole thing.
But the other thing I was thinking of too is, does Roman see it this way? Does Roman see, Jay, who's sticking up for Sammy, is also technically sticking up for Kevin Owens at the same time? Is he kind of aligning? Because Roman always, he already thinks that, he's not stupid. They haven't brought this to the light yet, but he has in the back of his mind that Sammy and Kevin Owens are working together. That's the underlying storyline in this. Is Sammy doing all this just to be vindictive enough to, get himself close enough to the bloodline where he can, take Roman off of his game so Kevin Owens can beat him? But at the same time, now maybe Jay has no wind of this. He has no clue this is happening. And he's sincerely protecting Sammy because he's seen a new light. But now to Roman, it's you're protecting Sammy, which means you're also protecting Kevin Owens. So he could see it as kind of like going against him in that sense. Like, oh, like Sammy, Jay, and Kevin Owens, they're against me. This is a plot to take down the head of the tape. Like, that's how I see it as too. Like, I'm kind of thinking how Roman's thinking about this now. Like, the overall picture. Like, he's the king, and people are trying to take his crown. And you gotta become nervous of everybody around you, even if they're family, even if they're friends. Like, everyone wants to come at you, And I think that's where he's at right now. It's like he's flustered enough where he has no clue who to trust.
And this is why you can only do it, this type of fantasy booking, with this storyline.
Yeah.
Because there's so much depth. You can't get this type of story, fantasy booking with Bray Wyatt.
No.
Because there's no substance to the story yet.
No.
There's so much packed into this. And they're going to ruin it all by just throwing away the match in Montreal at Elimination Chamber. But that's for we'll talk about it later. But okay, so I'm sure we're still going to keep talking about Roman and the Bloodline and Sammy later on. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But we got to move on to the next segment on Raw as 30, Raw as XXX. Alan Jones.
That's awesome.
Eli Drake, if that is your real name. Okay, look.
I actually dug this segment.
I love this.
I didn't hate it.
Okay, good.
I thought this was so good.
Yeah, I have an American bad. I would have preferred rolling.
Yeah,
but
I am American badass.
that works too.
This was great.
Pretty awesome. It was awesome.
I mean, I think really what sold this whole thing was the little passing of the torch from Taker to Bray. And that's really all this segment was for. Yes, it was to set up LA versus Bray a little bit, but it was really like you needed that closure between having Taker and Bray in the same ring, and you weren't going to have Undertaker on the show.
It was a perfect use of Taker because what are you going to do? Whenever that dong, I'm like, yawn. Like, okay, we're going to have Taker come out. Okay, he's going to take his 15 minutes to get to the ring.
Yeah.
This is a perfect Taker. But real quick, Taker in this picture, or Taker last night, or excuse me, Monday night. He looks like right now. He looks like that meme of Steve Buscemi with the skateboard. Like,
yes.
How do you do, fellow kids? That's what Taker looks like right now.
You gotta fill me in because obviously I wasn't watching when he was in his prime in the American Badass, but. Did he always used to come out with the bike and he would still do the step? No, I know he came out with the bike and everything and he would ride down, but would he always have to walk with the bike? You know what I mean? He was still stepping.
Sometimes,
he would do that. Yeah, he would ride around.
Because I was like, is the bike not working?
No.
He's probably trying to get the kickstand down, and he doesn't want to probably burn himself because it's such tight.
Yeah,
he normally would ride around the ring, drive around.
Yeah, I know he would
as he was making the turn, he would slow down and kind of walk it towards.
Grandpa, get off the bike if
and it's a lot tighter than it used to be too.
Yeah, it used to be way wider like that.
Yeah,
those areas so
and they have LED boards on that. So I'm sure
you
would break that.
A little bit of a different setup.
Yeah,
good point. Good point.
But
it was a grandpa Taker.
Yeah, I did enjoy the segment, and now looking back at it. I'm thinking this was a Bray Wyatt universe type thing, and I'll explain a little bit.
Oh no!
So
hold on, wait.
It's not a hot
takes here. Get your hot takes here.
I'm only saying this because normally you heard the gong and the fire and the pyro and all that stuff. And then it switches, and you get American Badass Undertaker, which is great. Obviously, American Badass Undertaker was a part of Raw and stuff like that, but so was regular Undertaker. My conspiracy brain is going, this is looking back at it. It's like, Bray Wyatt right now, he's bringing back all these crazy gimmicks and stuff like that. And maybe this was something that he in the Bray Wyatt world or the Bray Wyatt universe, controlled. Like he controlled Undertaker, changing his gimmick over to, because it started off with the gong and the Undertaker thing, but then it switched to the American Badass. And then when that whole interaction happens with LA Knight and Undertaker, and then Undertaker has him by the throat, and then Bray Wyatt's walking down with the lantern, and then they're eyeballing each other, right? Undertaker, he's just like, he's staring at him. Was Bray Wyatt controlling Undertaker to throw him to Bray Wyatt? That's what it looked like. If you watch it back again, just so like Undertaker's just like kind of like staring, like kind of like in a like he's hypnotized by Bray almost, and then he throws LA Knight to him and he hits him with the move, and then obviously he gives him that words of wisdom or whatever. So I think it was more or less like kind of playing into the Bray Wyatt lore where he can kind of like manipulate and control things and stuff like that, and bring back old gimmicks and all this type of stuff. That's how I look at it anyway.
I think he had just lit a joint backstage. And he had to go back and he had to make sure Godfather didn't take it.
Another big talking point from Raw, and we're not going to get into every segment, but I think it's important that we kind of, I guess we'll end up, grouping just this whole part together, and it's,
it went downhill after Taker.
No, not even that.
It did. Yes, I agree.
Raw 30 should have been a retrospective show. It shouldn't have been a actual Raw
absolutely
episode.
not. No,
see, I don't think. I think opposite. Yeah,
boring. No. I wish, actually, you know what I wish they had? I wish they had brought back the old Titantron. That's what I wish.
No, that's what I mean. It should have been.
It
should have been something where it was actually celebrating. It's fucking 30. Like this show has been on for 30 years, right? Maybe I'm just speaking as like a wrestling fan or a fan of like watching this fucking thing for 30 years. Maybe I think it should have been something separate or something different. I don't think it should have been a regular Raw episode, because now you're taking away from the celebration of a show. You have 30 years of content and there's nothing to show for at all.
Well, you have the legends and
what legends? The legends that made up that Raw weren't even there.
Ric
Stone
Flair.
Cold,
Ric Flair was
The
there.
Rock.
Ric Flair was there. Hogan was
He
there.
didn't make up Raw. He wasn't.
He was there. He was there for the beginning.
But he didn't make. I'm saying like if you're celebrating 30 years of Raw.
Kurt Angle, DX.
Where's Stone Cold and The Rock? Those are the two guys.
Stone Cold is training for Roman Reigns. Damn it!
I mean, you guys can disagree with me, but if you think of Raw, I'm not thinking of Ric Flair.
No, you're right to this point.
I'm not thinking Undertaker. I think of Raw. Not thinking of DX. I think of Raw. I'm thinking of Stone Cold, and I'm thinking of The Rock. Those are the only two
you're
I'm
right.
thinking of. And they were not even on no video message, no nothing at all. Like they didn't even exist.
If honestly, I wouldn't want to see like a thing where Stone Cold's got a selfie and like, all right, man, it's been 30 years. What?
No, not even not even that. It's just I don't know. I feel like it should have been something separate, like kind of like how like AEW did with that. They did the Jay Briscoe 3 hour. They did that like 3 hour show. Like that, like the celebration of life thing. It should have been something separate.
I mean, I would have liked that if they did something like that. That it's kind of something separate from the actual
it's
Raw.
Fucking 30 years. That's a huge, like those shows been on for 30 years. Maybe besides the Simpsons, if you want to put the Simpsons up there. But like, what other shows been on for 30 years? That like, and you have 30 years of content.
Law
nothing to show for. That's insane, dude. To me, anyway. And don't get me started on the DX shit. That was awful. Hated that whole thing.
Yeah, that was
every aspect.
Before we get into the DX,
gotta be done with that.
Oh, that was it. Oh, actually, you know what? Before we cut into this, this is what pissed me off the most. DX, the driving force behind WWE and the attitude. No, they fucking weren't. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin that pissed me off the most. Like when you say DX is the driving force behind Raw, no, that's blatant lies and misconception at all.
It was Max Moon. He was on the
there were 6 months.
Damien Demento.
6 months at best. DX was like a part of Raw.
0 months at best.
Yeah, it's like no,
Because
come on.
1997 DX sucks. It sucks.
Driving force behind.
You're insane.
I'm
Yeah, that
insane,
pissed
but
me
I'm
off
right.
the most.
You're not
Proceed.
right.
I'm
Let's-
absolutely right.
We could proceed with the
100% wrong.
we could proceed with the shitty DX segment that they
We're talking about the DX segment. I just want to say that
You want some 06 where it goes, Vince loves cock.
No, I want 09
Yeah.
where they brought out the glow sticks and Hornswoggle
God,
came
it's even
aboard.
worse. It's even worse.
No, that was not worse than
Oh, God, so
2006 was the worst.
No, I'd rather 06 than 09.
Ugh.
God.
I'd rather
09 is
none of
the
it.
absolute worst.
Well, no, it's not the absolute worst because the absolute
it
worst was
is.
1997. But
no, the absolute worst was 2023.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yes.
Good way to tie it back in.
Yes.
Look, they always do this segment that it's like, here's a really strong team that we have, and that we're gonna beat down the legends, but here come the baby faces to save the day. And I don't know, it's dumb. The only part that I liked, which I know it's dumb, but when Triple H and Walter, wow, that came out of me. Triple H and Gunther, sorry. Triple H and Gunther, do the stare down. Triple H is looking really tough, and he just goes, "I'm retired."
Yeah,
I just thought the delivery on that, and Road Dogg's line, I thought the delivery on that was good too. He was, now let me tell you, why am I even bothering? Fuck it.
Yeah, what are you talking? Get back there, Butterball.
That was good. But everything else, yeah, it kind of sucked. But
and he goes, man, this booking stuff's hard, guys.
that was funny
yeah,
too.
that was kind of funny.
Every
But,
time,
yeah,
that's the one thing about Triple H now. Every appearance that we get of him, there's always going to be a reference to the booking thing now. It's just,
as it looks, guys.
just got to get used to it.
Listen.
Listen, it's not as easy as it looks.
The game. Okay, and now I guess we can talk about. You alluded to it, Marco. The lack of women presence on the show.
Women folk.
Which is a big deal. I mean, you didn't have Trish. You didn't have Lita. You didn't have anyone. You had Alundra
Anybody.
Blaze for 2 seconds backstage at the
Yeah.
APA segment. You didn't have the Bell Twins. You didn't have
There was a little bit of
anyone.
controversy with that too.
Yeah,
there
they were
was.
advertised for it.
They
They
were
were
advertised
advertised,
for it,
but-
and then they told them that they had diddly squat for them, and they were like, "No thanks."
But apparently, Nikki Bella is just saying, no, we had to go do press for Nikki Says I Do or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, which they did advertise. during
Nobody's
the,
going to watch that bullshit, fake marriage bullshit.
Are you not going to watch the 4-part series where Nikki
God,
Bella is
no.
proposed to and then gets married?
I hope she runs out of that dude just like she ran away from John Cena.
God
Probably.
Will you stop?
Yeah, it was. And then you had Charlotte come out. Well, you had Ric Flair come out to introduce Charlotte, which was like,
My daughter,
yeah,
the greatest of all time.
yeah, that. And then,
Kissing the girls and making them cry.
and then, and she comes out and she talks about the women's revolution, and then leaves out one of the main proponents of the women's revolution,
I
which
wonder why.
pretty much made her the bulk of the women's revolution. Those matches was between Charlotte and Sasha. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the, it was Becky wasn't in the main event scene at the time.
They
The
were
main
the
event-
first everything. They were the
The-
first
yeah,
Hell in
the-
a Cell. They were the first.
Sasha and Charlotte were the focal point of the women's revolution, and you can't even say her name because she's not with the company anymore. That kind of
Say my name.
she said,
say my
I fought the
name."
likes of Becky Lynch. No, you didn't. Bailey and some other, I forget who else she said.
And
It
the
was like
other
Paige.
one.
Did she say Paige? She didn't even bring up Paige or AJ.
Did she bring up the Bellas? I mean, that's where she.
I
Won
think
the
she
first
bring out the
title from.
Bellas. Yeah,
Okay.
Did she bring up
Paige.
Dewdrop?
Paige was like she was the main. Like, if
Wait,
anything-
please tell me she brought up Nikki ASH. Please tell me. for the
Nia
love of
Jax? Oh,
No,
my
no.
hole.
God. My hole.
greatest. They didn't even show that. That was a missed opportunity. That was,
That
like
was a
one of the
very
greatest
much
moments of
One
Raw
of the greatest
ever.
moments of all time.
But
Greatest
yeah, it was
moment
just,
ever.
it was just, I don't know, man.
But thank God Sonya Deville got some time on the show.
Yeah, because that's
I
what
mean,
then
we
that
all know how
awkward-
instrumental she was in the
Yeah,
Raw
yeah,
general
she-
manager, for God's sakes.
yeah, and then the awkward interaction with Bianca and Charlotte.
Which, by the way, Sonya was more a general manager for SmackDown than she was on Raw.
Yeah,
Let's get that out
yeah,
of the
she's
way.
more featured on SmackDown. Yeah,
She
you're
had a
right.
whole program with Naomi on SmackDown, and that was all she did as the general manager.
Like, it's
What
come
the
on,
fuck do I
man.
know?
Can't mention like the main proponents of the women's revolution. Don't even bring up the women's revolution then. Like, don't even have that part
Yeah, just
in
say it
that
didn't
show.
exist.
Because the people that made it happen aren't there anymore. Paige and Sasha, they're like the main, like Paige, if anything, she was like the main, like, came on the scene, NXT Women's Champion, and won the dual champion. She kind of like broke the mold there, and then, yeah, I don't know, man.
If
It
they
was
did
bad.
have the Bella twins on the show, where do you think they would have even slotted them in?
they're probably in the APA bar.
That's exactly
yeah,
what I
probably
was
just
thinking.
playing poker.
There's
yeah.
nothing else.
Yeah,
Who knows? Maybe the Bella twins were supposed to attack Bobby Lashley in the main event. That would be
oh,
interesting.
maybe.
Golly.
Imagine.
Gee
No,
whiz.
but
They would have came out and acknowledged the tribal chief
yeah, maybe
because he's a great guy.
the Bella bloodline. You're not the only bloodline in the WWE. pal. We're challenging you for those tag titles.
Our stepdaddy is here, Johnny Ace.
Imagine they bring out Johnny Ace.
Do the Usos versus the Bellas in the battle of the twins. Who's the most dominant?
Mr. John.
People power.
I don't
And
think he's welcome back in WWE anytime soon. But...
yeah. Did you see he was supposed to have some type of meet and greet, his first appearance outside of WWE, and then they canceled it because it got so much shit.
Nice.
What else happened? I think the only thing left was the main event, right? The Lashley and I mean, how do you guys feel about Lashley and Lesnar apparently continuing their feud? I was saying last week, and Marco agreed with me, if they put Lashley and Lesnar in Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania, that's pretty big. I would be down to see that.
And now there's a rumors of Stone Cold and Lesnar at
Okay, yeah.
Mania. That was that. Maybe you talked about that a little bit in the group chat.
Ugh.
I don't know, man.
I'd much rather see that versus than Austin and Roman though.
Yeah.
Lesnar into the
If you're gonna bring
Rumble.
Austin back.
Oh no! Wait, sorry, I missed. You said you would rather see.
I'd rather see Austin Lesnar. At least there's a storyline tied to it.
Oh yeah, there's instead of what, Austin and Roman.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I'll go with that.
that's just basically a nostalgia match. There's no like Austin has no business there at all. But I mean, I'm assuming they're both going to be in the Rumble. Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, and neither one of them are going to win, obviously. Which would probably set up a match at like Elimination Chamber or fucking Mania or some shit. I don't know.
I think it's got to be at Mania. There's no way that can't be.
No,
What are you gonna do? Elimination Chamber? Like,
and hopefully it's a longer match.
let's throw all of our WrestleMania matches on Elimination Chamber. We're already throwing Sammy and Roman on there.
That's not a WrestleMania
Yeah,
match.
okay, we'll talk about that in a bit. Hold your horses.
No one's thinking of that.
But yeah, I guess Lashley and Lesnar. I'm cool with it. I mean, it gives
As long as it's longer than the
yeah, as
the
long as
Crown
there's a
Jewel match,
definitive
like-
winner, there's no interference. That's why I'm saying put it in Hell in a Cell. Could you imagine how good that would be?
I don't want to see it at all.
I mean, I'm not dying to see it, but you do need the final match. And if you're gonna do it, you built up the story enough that you could just do it at WrestleMania.
Moving on.
Moving on.
We're live.
We're live.
We're live.
So that was Raw is XXX is 30.
Raw
I thought
XXX,
it was
Raw-
a fun show, but
Raw
I
10,
guess
10. I hated it.
10-10 wins.
They did not win the week for me. Spoiler alert.
Raw is got to get his annual checkup.
Raw is
Raw is 10 years away from getting a colonoscopy.
yeah, it is actually. Damn, Raw. You'll really experience Raw at that point.
I
Yeah.
thought the show was fun. Had the best segment in years, and then it had a bunch of other shit. But I thought the show was fine. I thought it was fine. Regardless, we still have 2 more matches that we need to talk about for the Royal Rumble, and then we're going to put a bow on this episode. It is, of course, the 2 men's and women's Royal Rumbles.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go. First of all, the Royal Rumble is being sponsored by Applebee's. I did not know that.
They do commercials for
And
they
with
have,
fancy
Applebee's
like
commercials.
Applebee's on a date night.
Stop.
Imagine that's the theme song. Welcome to the Royal Rumble, and we're fancy like Applebee's. I wonder if that guy Hardy, whoever's singing the theme song, I wonder if he knows that song. Maybe he'll throw in a little Applebee's
my
sponsorship
Please,
for us.
please stop. God.
The women. All right, what do we want to start with first? Do we want to start with the women's Royal Rumble or the men's Royal Rumble?
Ladies first.
Ladies first. Ladies first. Let me get who is confirmed for the match. Not
Like
many
4
on the
like
women's
4
side
people.
of things, but might as well throw out the names for you. So confirmed right now on the women's side of things is 7 out of 30 entrants. We have Liv Morgan, Candice LeRae, Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez, Shayna Baszler, Zelina Vega, and Emma.
Thank God Emma's in there.
Hopefully she comes out with the bubbles and everything.
Oof, thank God we added Emma into that one.
She's a great guy.
What a great guy.
Great guy.
How's the field looking so far? There's not much to talk about on
Rhea, she wins. That's my
Yep,
prediction.
yep.
We can skip it.
Goddamn.
Wait, hold on. All right. So since it's hard to predict the Royal Rumble, even
Now
if it's
Rhea
just-
won.
if it's just Rhea, I still think that we should do it. And maybe, let me know what you think, but maybe give 3 potential winners. 1 is your number 1. And if you get that right, you
All
get
right, I
2
like that.
points.
I like that.
And then the other ones, you only get 1 point if
Okay.
they get
I
right.
like that.
But you need to, your number 1, that's where you're putting all the marbles in on this.
All right.
So,
all right.
Marco, you already started with your confident Rhea pick. So, go ahead.
Rhea Ripley. Yeah, she's winning.
Okay, who else you got?
Oh, what else you got? You got to give me 2 others.
Yeah, I mean, there's no who Liv, I might go with. Since
Okay.
she's going in at number 1. She might be the actual winner, but she'll be a safe 1-point win. And then can you do TBA or to be determined? Because you don't know who else is in the fucking Rumble.
Oh, yeah. You could say whoever you want, even for your first picks.
Let's see.
Even if it's a
Hello.
surprise.
Yeah. It's your pick. If you
Surprise!
want to put 2 points on a surprise.
It's your
I don't think it's going to be any of the surprises, though. That's the thing.
Sorry.
Maybe it will be.
I'm assuming. You know what? I'll go with Bailey just to be safe. So Rhea, Liv, and Bailey.
All right.
'Cause I have no clue who would be a surprise for the ladies. Like,
Money.
and if they do, Dylan's winning. Yeah. I don't think the
Money.
surprise is winning anyway. So
I just realized that they sampled "Jump" by Chris Cross on
yeah,
that song.
money.
The Mac Daddy make you. Chris Cross will make you. Don't try to compare us to another. Sorry.
Money will make you.
Like way before your time.
I fucking love that song. All right, so I guess you don't need to provide any explanation as to why you think Rhea's going to win this.
She's due. She's due for a title run. She's the only technically competitor to Bianca Belair for WrestleMania for me anyway. I don't see unless you want to go Raquel, but other than that, I mean, Yeah,
No.
Rhea's my pick.
Yep. I'm also going with Rhea. They teased doing the doing Rhea and Bianca a few weeks ago. They did like a little stare down. And
Yeah.
that to me kind of sold it. I was like, they still never did that match for Money in the Bank.
Nope.
They pushed that to the side. I mean, if we really think about it, like, you don't do the match at Money in the Bank. These two are two women who were grown from NXT during the Triple H era, and you don't do that match in the entirety of when Triple H has been around. I feel like that only confirms that he wants to put that on as big of a stage as possible.
Yeah.
And with the popularity that Rhea's been garnering,
Bobby,
I think it only makes sense. And I'm sure that added to it. As far as my other picks, I'll give one pick to Becky because I think Becky's always in the mix of things. Funny enough, I actually thought, and I was going to throw in this prediction, but I'm not too confident about it to actually do it. I'm going to keep them separate, but I thought that we were going to get two winners for the Rumble. I thought we would get Rhea and Becky winning, and you would go on to do a triple threat match. But they did that same finish on NXT.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago. So I was like, done.
Yeah.
You could do it, and then like you could have like a coin flip. Whoever wins that gets to pick the winner, and then the other one has to face the other one, other champion.
And you know what else you could do? On an untelevised event, you could bring Rhea Ripley out with the title and see how the crowd reacts. And then you can bring out Becky Lynch with the title and see how the crowd reacts.
Just
and
like
then you go
Lex Luger.
forward on your book. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There you go.
Just go
like
really
that.
1994.
I like that idea.
Now, I was going to go with that bold prediction, but then I saw NXT and I was like, yeah, they're not going to do that twice. That's a rare one. So Becky, I'll keep separate. And although it's probably risky to go with this one, I'll throw in Naomi as another pick.
Okay.
I think we're getting Naomi coming back at this Rumble.
Well, you're ruining my other question. Damn it.
Oh, well.
I was going to say,
I'll give someone else for that question because I feel like I know
I'll
what
let
the
you
question is going to be.
Because I think,
I think Naomi has a chance. I mean, if she's in the Rumble, you would have to think that she has a great song.
Probably.
You would have to think she has a fighting chance.
Yeah.
Especially with returning at the Rumble 2 years. She returned in 2020 and she returned in 2021. She didn't win either of those Rumbles. You would
What a
think,
loser.
God damn. You would think coming back that she would at least be like a final three. Honestly, that might be my last three right there. Fucking Rhea, Becky, and Naomi. And then you get down to Becky and Rhea as your final two. I don't know. Well, we're not doing that prediction. So Rhea's number one, and then Becky and Naomi are the two other ones.
All right. Well, give me three. Okay, well, let me give you mine. Mine's just real quick. Mine's Rhea, Liv, and Becky as well. That's what I'm gonna go with, but Rhea's my number one. All right, so give me three surprises for the women's Rumble.
Three surprises. Surprises. Okay, let me bring this up because it's always
somebody that hasn't been there like within like last 6 months.
No, not even that. But because of the point system, I think surprises should only be half a point.
No.
Okay, fine, 1 point.
No,
you're not doing two. I mean, no, I'm saying like a point per.
Okay, point per. If you get them all three right, you get an extra point.
No, if you get all three right, you get 3 points. That's a lot of fucking points.
All right, whatever. All right, go ahead. You want me to start off?
You start off. Go ahead.
Okay, mine is Naomi,
Okay.
Chelsea Green,
Ooh.
Beth Phoenix.
I feel like that's going to be everyone's picks. Like,
yeah,
that's exactly
why
what
I wanted to do the other points. God.
No, I mean that's not all. That's I mean I probably have like maybe one or two out of that three.
I don't have anyone else. I mean, they're probably going to have to throw in. Maybe you see like a. Oh, I got someone for a potentially surprise appearance. So I think I'll put in Naomi because
I
predicted
didn't
her to
pick
be
her
a
on the last
potential
thing,
winner.
so yeah.
I will throw in. Well, here's the one that I'm thinking about, and I think it's because her recent kind of popularity on social media and her athleticism. I'm going with kind of a dark horse pick here. Sol Ruka on NXT.
Sol Ruka, yeah. Is that how you say it?
Veruca Salt?
Veruca Salt.
Yeah, Veruca Salt from Willy
the
Wonka.
garbage chute. The
I want it
furnace.
now, Daddy.
Of course,
I want a party with rooms full of
NXT.
laughter. 10,000 tons of ice cream.
One of my
It's like,
buddies, Mike, could that whole movie. He could perform that whole movie for you.
Good Lord.
Like,
Oh, me too.
Like as a one
Willy
man
Wonka
show.
is my all-time favorite movie. I can recite everything from that.
Okay, yeah, I could see her showing up.
I never thought my life could be. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely gonna be some NXT ladies popping up there.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
I mean, you don't have a lot of people to pick from on the main roster.
All right,
Yeah.
you got Naomi, Veruca Salt. What's your
Veruca Salt.
What's the third
And
one?
I'll go Beth also. I think Beth has to be in. What
right.
That's the thing is, like, Beth and Rhea have unfinished business. So, like,
Yeah. Okay.
does that throw a wrench in things? Nah, I think you do it in Montreal. Yeah, fuck it. Beth, Naomi, Sol Ruka. Veruca Salt.
Veruca Salt. I'm gonna go Chelsea Green, the hot mess.
Hot man?
Let me think. I want to go Nate. I feel like Naomi's a given. There's 30 entrants. They only named 7 of them. I want to go Tiffany Stratton from NXT.
That's a good pick.
And the third, because I think we're going to see the new heel persona, Asuka.
Good pick, too.
I think we're going to see heel Asuka.
You know what?
Crown makeup.
Just to keep things varied, because I'll let J-Bone keep the Beth Phoenix pick. I'm gonna go Cora Jade on my other.
Okay, yeah,
because Triple H is high on.
It's gonna be
Jade.
the main NXT ladies if they do show. It's gonna be Tiffany Stratton, like you said, Cora Jade. Probably what's her name? The Lion chick, Nikita Lyons.
No, she tore her ACL.
Yeah,
that's right. She did. That's right. She got injured. Who else is there?
I can't wait for Cora Jade to be called up so I can shit on her every week.
God,
dang,
she's not even that bad,
right? Anthony has a schoolboy crush on Cora Jade. That's why he wants her on there.
He's a great guy.
It's weird that I'm at the point where I'm watching wrestling and I'm the same age as the wrestlers now.
Yeah, I know that is kind of strange.
Hey man,
so it's,
look,
I mean.
Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade.
She did get she did boost a few points when she turned heel. I think she got hotter, physically and in the ring. Like she got as she turned heel, she got better. Same thing with Dakota Kai when she was a face, she wasn't that great, but then once she turned heel, she was amazing turning
Dakota
heel.
Kai.
So.
Dakota Kai. Anyone think Dakota Kai is going to win the Rumble this year? No,
nope.
I'm kidding.
No. I can see Bailey though with the help of Damage Control.
I fucking hope Bailey doesn't win. You either got Bianca and Bailey at WrestleMania, or you got Bailey and Charlotte.
I like Bailey and Charlotte.
I don't. I do not. Is that it for the bonus questions?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I think we got a different enough answer. I'm just trying to get some stuff in there.
Like I feel like everyone was going to pick Naomi, but I like that everyone's got a different 2 people. Yeah. Let's wrap this shit up with one more match.
Oh boy.
And this is the big one, boys. The Royal Rumble for the men's. Let me run down who we got in the match so far. 16 out of the 30 competitors have been announced, and the field's looking all right. We've got Kofi Kingston, Santos Escobar, Ricochet, Austin Theory, Seth freaking Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, Rey Mysterio, Gunther, Cody Rhodes, Omos, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, Karrion Kross, and Dominic Mysterio.
Dom.
Dom himself.
By Doom.
Dom lollipops.
All right.
Here we go. This is going to be a tough one to predict. Who wants to start it off?
I'll start it off.
Are we doing this? Wait, are we doing the same thing we do with the ladies? We're picking
Yes, same
3,
thing. Pick
and then we'll
one.
pick the surprises.
Your solid number one gets you 2 points. The other
Yep.
picks, if they win, you get 1
Get
point.
one. Okay.
I mean, look, honestly, Monday night kind of puts a little wrench in the game there. But
What, with Brock Lesnar, you mean?
no, with Sammy I'm talking about. So I think all along. I mean, I think everybody's consensual favorite was going to be Cody. So that is my number one pick. Is Cody. All right.
Okay.
I think it's a safe pick, but there's something telling me in my head. He's like, man, that is not a smart pick, especially with the Sammy stuff. So I am going to go Sammy number 2. I don't think, and just hear me out. Wait, where's the thing?
Oh, where is it?
Hear me out.
Here, I got it.
Hear me out.
All right. I think Sammy, if Roman turns on Sammy at some point, maybe that's part of the test. He said, no, you weren't actually supposed to win it. And Sammy says, so he turns on Sammy. Sammy says, oh, you know what? I'm not going to use it at WrestleMania. I'm going to use it at Elimination Chamber.
Oh my God. I can never get away from this.
Is that let's
Elimination Chamber.
He's got a puke.
Sami Zayn is not facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. That's not happening.
Wait
not.
a second.
It's
Wait, you're
not
telling
happening.
me that you think that the Royal Rumble is going to lead to Elimination Chamber?
It's been done before. It's been
Yeah.
done before.
How's it been done before?
John
With who?
Cena cashed in earlier
Yep.
in the 2008. He said, you know what? I want to face Randy Orton at No Way Out. It's been
Yep.
done before.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's happened.
Just because it happened once doesn't mean it should happen again.
I mean, it could happen
but
again. That's the thing.
but they had somebody win number 1 3 times now, and
Hey, only 2 people won at number 1. Thanks.
Oh,
Well,
my
then you
bad. Sorry.
Then you got to think about it too. Like, obviously, we know they can do play out a storyline as long as they want. But now, like, say that does happen. Say Sami Zayn does win the Royal Rumble. Now you got to play this whole storyline all the way. Now you have to have Sami Zayn feuding with the Bloodline all the way till WrestleMania.
Right.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
I'll tell you how you do it, but Marco, I'll let you. Oh, you have one
I
more.
got one more.
Tim.
The last one. If you smell what the Rock
I don't think he's
is
showing up.
cooking. I don't see anybody else besides Cody, these 3 guys, because it's got to be surrounded by Roman Reigns, right?
I'll go
mean,
next.
What are the 3 guys? Okay, go ahead.
I know another guy that's surrounded by Roman Reigns that can win the
Oh.
Royal Rumble
Yeah, I know.
that you're
Here
totally
we
forgetting
go.
about.
No, I'm
That
not
one-
forgetting about it.
That one person that Roman Reigns could
No,
never
I'm not
beat.
forgetting about it.
Ever. Hasn't beat him yet. But yeah, I'm going with Cody.
Oh,
as my
yeah,
number
yeah.
one.
Okay. That's a good point. All right. Yeah.
I'm going with
Okay.
Cody as my numero uno. So
Yeah.
I still think I think this is a swerve, bro. I think people are thinking like, oh man, oh look, they threw a wrench in the thing with Sami Zayn. He's at nope, he's not winning shit. Cody Rhodes is winning. It's just a swerve that just throw that at you just to make it look like, with a bunch of other things. My second pick, burn it down. Yeah, that's the other guy that's in the nucleus. The Roman Reigns nucleus.
That's a good pick. I forgot about him. You're
The
right.
only person that Roman Reigns cannot defeat. He has Roman Reigns' number. Yeah, that's my other pick. And my third, we'll go with Sammy. After all that. Which I don't think he's gonna win. I think I think I'm losing a point. I don't think he has any chance of winning the Royal Rumble at all.
All right.
It's time to shake things up around here.
I can't wait.
I'm to shake things up around here.
Anthony's about to lose his title. That's what's happening right now. That's
Hey,
all I
if I'm
hear.
gonna lose my title, I'm gonna go down trying. Like I'm gonna go down fighting because
He's
you
gonna
want to
go
pick the safe picks.
Here's your
I'll
three.
pick the safe pick. I'll put Cody at number 1 just in case. No,
'cause
motherfuckers. This is
he
the
is gonna
raw
win.
down. We're going crazy. All right, number 3 on my list, even though number 2 and 3 are worth the
three?
same amount of
What are
points.
you doing here?
Number 3 is The Rock. Because even though it's I'm not in the ring shape with my Terramana, this, that, and the other thing.
With the ceremony.
Even though it's all that, I still think that's a swerve. You can't tell me that you have been leading on like, little hints and rumblings to Rock and Roman, and just immediately, like a few weeks before the Rumble, Rock's like, nope, not in the shape. Just not in
Can't
shape.
do it. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Nope. Can't do it.
Got
He's
XFL.
probably depressed, dude, after that like Black Adam movie like tanking, dude. He might not be in shape at all. He might have just like went the Thor route and just got a bare belly and started
Or
drinking
maybe
heavily
he's
and stuff like
thinking,
that.
maybe this whole superhero world isn't for me. Maybe I have to go back to where I'm appreciated and go back to fighting Roman.
It's a possibility.
That to me is the only other story than, well, I'll get to that in a minute. Number 2 is Cody. Because, yes, Cody comes back. Yeah, I get it. I mean,
is everyone here a wrestling fan or sports entertainment?
Before you go any further, they keep on hammering the point that he's back for one thing only.
yes, I know. I get
keep
it.
that in mind.
Sure.
They've been saying that in the video packages too. It's not like he said it that one time and they never said it again. Just all right, now carry on.
All right,
Continue.
good point. But even with that, I just think I still feel like Mania, you need more than it just being, just Roman and Cody. I feel like you can build to that match a lot more.
But who's to say it's gonna be Roman and Cody?
No, I'm saying if Cody wins the Rumble.
Yeah.
I
No, I
feel
mean like as far as the belts go, because
Oh, no.
that
Well, true. But let's say we're walking into Mania with Cody winning the Rumble, Roman as champion. I feel like you need more. And now,
Hear me out.
hear me out. Number 1, Sami Zayn. Easily. And
Lost.
I'll tell you why.
you lost.
New
and I will-
champion.
and I will
someone's
tell
it's
you
either me or
why.
J-Bone. That's
Let me
it.
tell you why. Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you, yeah.
Listen to Chick Foley's show yesterday. No, I listened to it this morning. And where was it this morning on the way from? Oh, no, I listened to the flagship on the way to school. Coming home, I listened to Chick Foley. And Seth was very vocal about, Sammy versus Roman isn't the Mania match because Mania is built on the big stars. And that seems to be the thing that everyone says. Mania is built on the biggest stars.
It is.
I have a bit of a pushback on that. Mania isn't built on the stars. Mania is built on the stories.
No.
Yes,
100%. You're wrong.
absolutely
Wrong.
Mania is built on the stories.
Wrong.
That is wrong, yeah.
Wrong.
Look at the last, how many Manias? Let's look at the last, we'll start with 5 Manias.
Fake news.
And tell me a single match there that
Your
wasn't
wife is
built
dog ugly.
in story. All right. Mania last year, Roman and Brock have a lot of history behind
They're
that.
stars.
Sure, they're stars, but there was a deep story with Brock and Roman leading into Mania.
What was
Mania
the story
before that? You had
What was
Roman,
the story with
Edge
and Roman?
What was the story with Edge and Roman?
Yeah.
The fact that all three of them were about to retire from wrestling and they all ended up coming back. There's
That
a
was not the
story for you.
Wrong. What was the story with what was it? 36. Drew and Brock.
Are you kidding me? I mean, Drew coming back from being released,
All right, give you that
working
one.
his way back up.
35.
The first women's Royal Rumble, the first women's WrestleMania main event,
And that would have
all of
not
the
happened
build-up.
because of Ronda Rousey.
It was supposed to be
Rousey,
Ronda
Charlotte,
versus
and
Becky, and then Charlotte gets thrown
Ronda,
in
Charlotte,
because it's Vince
Becky.
McMahon's handpick, and then
You're
they do the
absolutely-
shit when they
you're
get
100%.
arrested. There's a story.
The early years of WrestleMania, yes, a story, but not the later part of WrestleMania.
Every year is built on story. Come on.
I mean,
dude.
they're okay. So you're both
WrestleMania is enhanced by the stars, but
You're
it is
both
not
right.
built
Wait,
on
wait.
the stars.
Well,
You're
I'm
both right. You're
No,
both
I'm
right.
I'm the
There is
tag
a
team champion.
storyline. there is a story that goes into WrestleMania, but those stories contain fucking stars.
Excuse me, Daniel Bryan. One of the biggest stories in Mania history did not contain what the WWE perceived as a star.
That's because he was a
serious?
star.
Are you saying Batista is not a star? Randy Orton?
no.
Not a
Batista
star?
and Randy Orton, sure, but it was
That's
originally
why that
supposed-
match happened.
He got
'Cause they're
over
stars.
because he was a star.
No.
Yes.
Let's also not forget the original main event was supposed to be Batista versus Randy Orton, and because
Stars.
the story, yes, that was the original main event until the story became the Yes Movement, and
Yeah,
they
but they didn't-
had to put Daniel Bryan.
Rock
in.
But they didn't
Cena?
remove.
Rock
They
and
didn't remove
Cena?
one of them.
Brock
and
and
add
Cena
Daniel
was a
Bryan.
year of story. It started from the
They're
WrestleMania before
stars.
that. You're gonna tell me, okay, and even the night before the Rock and Cena storyline started, you had The Miz in the main event of WrestleMania
He was a
because there
star
was
at the
story with The Miz being this, just a chicken shit heel as the WWE champion. Come on. WrestleMania is enhanced by stars, but it is built on story. If there is not a story that you can get invested in, then there's no reason to watch WrestleMania. If
That's
you're
why
just sitting there
WrestleManias
like,
have sucked over the last few years.
oh my God. Well, regardless,
Sammy's out in it. Don't worry.
my pick is Sammy. And you can
Cool.
build off of
I mean,
that.
So if he does win, the match is going to happen at Elimination Chamber anyway.
No,
so
it's
it doesn't even
not.
matter.
It's not going to happen at Elimination Chamber because you can stretch it out. You have a lot more time to work with a proper build of Roman versus Sammy, splitting up the bloodline, Sammy turns face, whatever it may be. You have much more time to build that up than you do from Royal Rumble to Elimination Chamber. Like, you only have like 3 weeks you have a lot to accomplish. You have to break up Sammy from Roman. You have to find a way to get Jay back on the side of Roman and not have it be, he's still with Sammy. You need to find a way that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, end up resolving this issue. You need to have, where's Paul Heyman in the middle of this? What's Roman Reigns, is Solo in the middle of this now? There are so many factors. So if I'm booking this, you have Roman not announce what the little, final test for Sammy is until the Royal Rumble, when he announces you're going to be in the Royal Rumble because I'm not defending my title at WrestleMania. The fans can forget about it. Everyone can forget about it. You are going to win this Royal Rumble so that you acknowledge that I'm your tribal chief and you acknowledge that I don't need to fight at WrestleMania. So he wins the Royal Rumble, and slowly, we start off with, Sammy's like, yeah, we're not going to fight. But then slowly you get to the point where Sammy's like, maybe I do need to fight him at WrestleMania. And then boom, somehow Roman turns on Sammy around Elimination Chamber. And then that alone gives you a few weeks to keep Sammy off of TV. You can have Roman just brutally attack Sami Zayn, leave him off of TV for 3 weeks so that when Sami Zayn comes back, huge pop, Sammy goes crazy attacking whoever, and he finally says, you know what, I'm not going to stand aside. I don't acknowledge you. I'm fucking fighting you at WrestleMania. And then we get the main event, Roman versus Sammy. And Sammy doesn't have to win. Roman could win, but you need to do it at WrestleMania. Like I've been saying, this doesn't work at Elimination Chamber because you've had a year of story with Sammy and the Bloodline. You can't just hotshot it at an event.
You're not hotshotting it.
Yes, you are.
No, you're not hotshotting. This has been planned months ago.
They've
you.
Yeah,
as soon as they announced it in Montreal back in October, November, that was the plan.
I don't know about that.
Well, yeah. If you think,
100%.
you got to think about
Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns was going to be the plan for that.
No,
I would be putting this Kevin Owens and Roman story at Elimination Chamber.
They started with the seeds of Kevin Owens, which is another reason why this championship match is going to be so damn good, because the storyline. You want to talk about story? The storyline with Kevin and Roman are also very important, and that's been the seeds have been planning for that now for months, going back before Star War Games.
Yeah, they started this. They started. I think you're forgetting, Anthony, that like you're thinking like, yo, they have this short amount of time. But just like J-Bone said, if you're thinking about this and you're following the storyline, the descent or the leaving of Sami Zayn started happening in October. That's this. Seeds have already been planted,
and that's when Kevin Owens got involved.
The War Games match in November. After that, into December, like all this, it's already been leading up to this. Like this. If you've been following the storyline, Sami's been on the outs ever since before War Games happened already. So like it's already there. Right now is the time to just pull the plug on it.
When you're thinking of this story, in terms of, well, to your point, just to address your point, I agree. It's been built up for a while, but you've spent so much time with Sami, like proving that he's with Roman. And he's saying to Roman like, oh, I'm with you, absolutely. And Kevin Owens is kind of just luring in the background, that you still have a lot to cover to finally be like, yes, now we're going to get Roman turning on Sami.
But we told Monday, like he said, like you're on a short leash, pal. That's what he told Sami. Now you got your final test this week. This weekend.
Yeah, it's the final test. There's nothing else to do after this.
Sami,
this is it.
Like I said, I can see if Sami wins, he's gonna say, I want my title match now in Montreal, in my hometown.
It's dumb. That's dumb.
It's dumb to have a big, huge pop for fucking Sami Zayn
in his hometown.
Yeah, you get one pop in his entrance, and then everyone knows that he's gonna lose.
No,
it's almost like we take all the story and we're like, all right, get it out of the way in Montreal. Now we got to really push forward with Roman and
everybody.
Cody. And then you only have a month to
every
build
single opponent that Roman faces so far, people are like, oh, he's going to lose.
No,
and what happens? He comes.
You think Kevin Owens is going to win this Saturday? Do you have any shadow of a doubt that Roman's not walking out?
There's a chance, the small chance, but there's a chance.
Oh my God.
Go back to Drew. Go back to the match with Drew. You picked Drew, right?
I did. No, you're right.
Brock.
But that's because of the situation.
But go back to the
because
Brock.
of the scenario.
Go back to Finn Balor like over a year ago.
No, I fucking no one was picking Finn Balor. Come on.
But okay, well,
listen.
Let me finish. But hold on, let me finish.
Go ahead.
So, but inside the match, Finn got real close, right? And I think Sami is going to be the same situation in elimination. People are like, oh, man, this is going to happen in Montreal. And then guess what? Whoop, rug get pulled.
Okay, good point. Yes, during the Finn Balor match, I was like, he might have it just because of the way that they were booking it. Two things. One, the reason why I thought Drew was going to win at Clash of the Castle, because it happened at Clash of the Castle. I said it last week.
Okay, this is happening in Montreal.
Okay, good point as well. But that leads me to my next point. Finn Balor. That is not happening before WrestleMania. If let's say Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns was happening before last year's WrestleMania, do you really think, even if they book it superb, that same shit happens, Finn's about to win, do you really think that they're going to walk into Mania as Finn Balor as the Universal Champion And now let me think about this in terms of like, you're just watching this as a fan and you're just taking it as you go. You've got Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns in Montreal, right? Even if you think that Sami Zayn has a chance to win, that means, let's say Cody wins the Royal Rumble. That means that the main event of WrestleMania is going to be Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn. Or let's say The Rock comes back on Saturday and wins the Royal Rumble. That is even more of a dead giveaway. You think the main event's going to be Sami Zayn versus The Rock?
No, it can still be Roman. Why would
Exactly.
they do that?
That's what I'm saying. You're setting Sami up to immediately just think, okay, well, obviously he's not going to win. It's going to be a great match, but he's not going to win. But that's not the point of wrestling.
His
win.
character is to be the underdog. Even when he was a heel, right?
No, right.
His character. What was it? He had a saying about something about the underdog or
underdog from the underground. Yes.
Yeah,
right,
underdog
right.
from the underground.
Thank you. Yeah. So I mean that's the whole point. Like, and then if he has a banger of a match with Roman, which I expect in Elimination Chamber, that's gonna get him over. That's gonna get him over. It is. So
That's true.
Well,
yeah, it'll get him more over.
It will. They're gonna have a great match. Yes. But
and it goes back.
ahead,
It goes back to the. Sorry, it goes back to the flagship. What Chad said today. Actually, I much prefer a babyface chasing, and you can always go back to it. Down the road, you could bring it back SummerSlam, Sami and Roman. You could bring it back Money in the Bank. There's ways you can do it.
I think yes. Him being the underdog, you're entirely right. I think there is a time and a place for an underdog story to work. And it's always at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan wouldn't have worked anywhere else other than WrestleMania. Kofi Kingston wouldn't have worked anywhere else than WrestleMania.
I'll put my prediction right now. WrestleMania, Roman's walking out with the title.
Oh, no, I agree. That's why I said win, lose, or draw. If we do Sami versus Roman, Roman's walking out the champion. It doesn't matter who he's going up against. Roman's going to win. That's why I'm saying, like, you might as well pay off the story in the biggest way possible and just do Sami versus Roman. I mean, the whole crowd is around him. This is the closest. So they said it on the Chick Foley show that the debate was, do you feel like Sami's popularity is as big as the Yes Movement and Kofi Mania? And while I don't agree that it's at that Yes Movement level, it's neck and neck with Kofi Mania.
I think, and I mean, obviously they didn't have the foresight, but I think if he wasn't doing, and granted, it was a great match, like the stuff with Johnny Knoxville, it was fun, whatever. But if he was doing more serious roles going up, before he joined the Bloodline, like just putting on banger matches with Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
And again, that's booking, and nobody has the foresight
right,
for that.
right.
But what I'm saying is had he been like beforehand, just climbing that ladder, so to speak, I think it would have gotten to that point. Kofi Mania worked because for a couple of different reasons. Kofi, has been there for so long. He was a popular superstar already, and people wanted to see. A lot of people wanted to see Kofi win. So that just worked at so many different levels. Same thing with Yes Movement. I mean, it was just like this groundswell. The groundswell was it had already exploded right before Mania, right? But as that was happening, the groundswell is still there with Sami.
Yeah,
it hasn't exploded yet.
Yep. And I'll say this: that his Sami Zayn is definitely not near Kofi Mania for one main reason is because with Kofi Mania there was a lot of backstory to that too. There was a lot of realness that happened.
Sure.
He was supposed to be in that title picture way back in the early 2000, well, mid whatever the
2009.
He was like neck and neck with Randy Orton. That thing happened with Randy Orton in the ring. Randy Orton got into Vince's ear, knocked Kofi Kingston down a peg, lost his footing in the main event scene, had to work his way back up to the New Day. New Day was supposed to fail. That wasn't even supposed to get off the ground. Like they put those guys together in order for them to fail. They weren't supposed to become this big faction. They're supposed to throw him together with fucking, Kofi. Yeah, he's done. Just put him with Xavier Woods and this guy, and they'll just like flounder off. Nope. Ended up becoming a big thing. Then here's why I don't compare Kofi Mania to anything that Sami Zayn's doing. Vince McMahon got involved. Vince McMahon was a part of Kofi's storyline. You're a B+ player. Well, every week on SmackDown, the guy was fucking running gauntlet matches all the way up until Elimination Chamber. Almost won the Elimination Chamber. Damn it, so close. Then continue to, you can't do it? Now your partners have to do it in a tag team. Like, it was just like, that's not happening with Sami Zayn right now.
Right.
That there's no, like, it's not like he's not fighting his way to Roman Reigns. He's getting like the backing.
Yeah, he's fighting his way to stay in the bloodline.
Yeah, he's not fighting his way to he's not trying to go after the title in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
In his mind, he's trying to stay with the bloodline and keep the peace with them. Whereas,
I think you're right in that it's not at that level yet, but I think that's where these next few months come in, leading to WrestleMania. Because I mean, Kofi Mania, Yeselmania, neither of those were at that boiling point anywhere around the Royal Rumble. Kofi Mania didn't even exist around the Royal Rumble. And, Daniel Bryan, Yes Movement, that was still not even in the idea of, booking for WrestleMania around the Rumble either. What I can say is that, I agree with you, J-Bone. I think if they did go with more of a serious tone for Sammy's booking in the lead up to the Bloodline story, then yes, we're working with something here. But you have time now with, the Monday after the Royal Rumble all the way to the Friday before WrestleMania. That is more than enough time to just immediately flip the switch.
How do you book it? He's in the Bloodline right now.
Right.
Okay. He wins the Royal Rumble. How do you book it?
I could give you a few ways to book it, but if we're talking about, since I predicted Sammy to win the Rumble, I just told you how I'd book it. It's Roman waits until the Rumble to tell him that he's in. He's going to fight on behalf of Roman to make sure that he doesn't fight at WrestleMania. Sammy somehow finds a way to win. Their allegiance is still together. Then slowly, you start planting the seeds that maybe Sammy wants to fight him at WrestleMania because this is his only chance to become world champion. You have Kevin Owens in his ears telling him that he should do it. And then somehow, boom, you have Roman turn on Sammy because he knows that he's becoming a threat. You keep Sammy off of TV for a little bit so that you keep him away from things around, I don't know, maybe the beginning of March, end of February. Sami Zayn comes back, huge pop. He finally announces that he's going to fight Roman at WrestleMania. Big lead up there. We finally get the last little tie-ins, like, what's going to happen with KO and Sammy. They finally align. Jay finally, just is done with Sammy. He goes back to Roman. And then we get to WrestleMania, and then we get Sammy versus Roman, and Roman wins. Another way that you can book it, if you really want to, is, and honestly, I would prefer this way. You have Roman tells Sammy he's in the Royal Rumble, blah, blah, blah. Sammy loses the Royal Rumble. The Monday after, Roman attacks Sammy and he's done. At Montreal, Roman defends his championship in the Chamber. Or there's a few ways you can go about it. But I was going to say one way is he defends the title in the Chamber, successfully defends it. Sammy makes a huge return in Montreal, which you still get that pop. And that's where we kind of get the announcement that they're going to fight at WrestleMania. Or you have Sammy, leave the bloodline right after the Rumble. And then he goes into the Elimination Chamber and puts on a hell of a performance to win the Chamber, which, to your point, J-Bone, solves the problem of, well, Sammy doesn't really look that strong. He's been booked, like a goofy baby face for the last few months or so, which is correct. You finally have a chance in the Chamber in Montreal to be like, Sammy just won the fucking Chamber. He's a threat for Roman. Finally, he cuts his hair, wears his old NXT gear. Like, it's Sami Zayn. He's back. There's a few ways you can go about it.
I mean, that out of all those ways, that last one seems a little bit more logical because he's on the face of the poster. on
Well,
the,
yeah,
on the
of
chairs.
course.
Yeah.
So
Hey, listen.
Now, he's
Our
in the-
Truth was on the face of the Hell in a Cell 2012 poster, and he wasn't on the show. God damn.
Was he?
He was.
Well, this time around, it's different.
That's when he was
'cause-
wearing the suit,
what's up?
that gray
Well,
suit.
I mean, this is different because
Oh,
Sami
no,
Zayn's
100%.
actually in a meaningful storyline.
What's up?
But the other thing too is why are we
You could get with that.
why are we not looking at the scenario where Sami Zayn costs Roman Reigns the match at Royal Rumble? Why are we not looking at that scenario?
But where
'Cause I just
Kevin
don't
Owens
think it's gonna
wins?
happen.
Kevin Owens wins.
Why not?
Well, you didn't pick him.
No, I mean, I mean, why not? I mean, we have all these great storylines and everything, but why not? Why are we skipping that? What if like I said, what if the test is he has to officiate that match between Kevin Owens?
I just don't see it. I love the idea.
I mean,
just-
I like that you can't see it because you don't. That doesn't fit your storyline.
no, that's
No. You can't see it. No.
I think it. Does, I mean, I can see it, and it doesn't fit my storyline at all. but
I
can
feel
see
like
something
it's
like that happening.
predictable. I feel like that's where we're going to on Friday, that like he's gonna say something about being in the match. But I feel like he would have announced that by now. Like,
No, he's not. No, he's not saying he's not. Remember, he's not going to be at any shows until the Rumble. He's not going to be on SmackDown.
exactly. That's why I think that he's going to have to be in the Rumble. Because everyone's like, in Sammy's mind, he's like, okay, I gotta be involved in this Roman and KO match somehow. And then Roman's gonna throw him with that, nah.
No, nobody. They never mentioned that at all
You're
either.
gonna be in the
though.
Rumble. That's what I'm saying.
They-
It's gonna happen at the Rumble, that he's gonna give him that.
No, they
news.
didn't mention anything about him being in a match or being in the Rumble. They didn't mention anything at all. He just said he had a test. We
Right,
don't know what
that's
that
the
test is.
Test.
Sammy's gonna come
Test.
in.
This is a test.
This is a test. That's what I'm saying. The test is going to be Sammy thinks that it's being involved in the KO and
I
Roman
don't
match.
think that is.
But
No,
Roman
that's
is like,
too-
no, you're
that's
in the
too
Rumble,
predictable.
bud. No.
Yeah,
All
I feel like it's the other way around.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's
This was
I
a great
think-
conversation, by the way, but we're going way too deep in.
Here's
But
the
go
thing.
ahead, Marco.
By the way, all that shit, Sami Zayn's not making it anywhere. He's fighting Roman at Elimination Chamber. I'm with J-Bone.
Which is ridiculous.
Your
But
fantasy booking is
my
it's
fantasy
fun,
booking's
fun to
fucking
listen
great,
to,
by the way.
but it's not happening.
good.
It's good, but it's not happening.
Oh, it's good because it's gonna
Quickly,
happen.
give me all right, let's do surprises.
All right, let's do surprises.
Who wants to start?
Marco, you start.
I'll start. Surprises,
surprises.
The Rock. That'll be a surprise. Not saying he's gonna win, but that'll be a surprise. Matt Cardona, I want to say. And then I'm gonna go crazy and say Jay White.
Cardona.
Fun picks.
Switchblade Jay.
Do you think if Jay White comes into the Rumble that it's only a one-time appearance, or do you think he would sign full-time?
I think he might sign full time.
I think it's gonna be one time.
Think so?
I'll get. I'll tell you. Well, I'll go ahead. I'll go next, and I'll
Yeah,
tell
go
you.
ahead.
So, one thing I've heard on social media is they've offered a lot of one-time contracts to people, which is why they were okay with spoiling, quote unquote, the quote Cody return, because they have people locked in, like enough surprises to be able to go with it. So they did like a lot of one-time stuff. 100% my number one. And I said this person wouldn't be in WWE, but for this year, but I think this is gonna be a one-time appearance. Matt Cardona. If I listened to the podcast this week, this is kind of a spoiler if you don't have the early stuff, but usually at the end of their podcast, they promote like where they're going to be that weekend. Brian Myers was like, "Oh, I'm doing this, blah 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 blah." Mark Strong said, "I'm doing this, blah blah blah," and Cardona says, "All right, I don't have nothing this week," and so which is. We know Cardona. He's always got something.
Yeah.
So he's 100% in there. My next one is going to be Nick Aldis.
Oh,
Okay.
That's a good one.
Again, with the whole, one-time offer thing.
Huh.
I really think he's going to be one of them.
Like a
And-
tryout type of thing, you think?
Yeah, and just maybe even it may even lead to something where Mickey James comes back. I don't know.
Hardcore country.
And my last one, I wanted to come up with an NXT person. I almost thought about going with a legend, but I was like, no, I don't want to see a legend. I'm gonna say an NXT, and correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think this person has been on NXT television a lot. Carmelo Hayes.
No, he has. I mean, he's in a storyline.
He has been featured a lot though, right?
No, I mean he's been around. He's
But
still,
not as heavy as he was in the
yeah.
past.
He's
he's in a
definitely taking a
storyline with,
backseat, yeah.
And I know
Follow.
he also had some couple tryout matches or whatever, not tryout, but called up for a little
Yeah, the
while.
main event
Card
matches.
Yeah, and he's
I'm
been
gonna go
trading with
Carmelo.
Cody too. Oh well, Cody picked Carmelo Hayes and what's
Joe
his name?
Gacy.
Joe Gacy to get him back in shape. So
Joe Gacy.
and Joe Gacy's probably a good choice too to pop up in the Rumble.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, what's your three?
All right. My surprises. Well, number one, I'm going Edge because I feel like
Y'all don't like Edge?
you don't like Edge.
I need someone to step up.
He always has to be thrown in there. Number two, going Logan Paul.
Ah,
I think his injury is just about ready to heal up,
damn.
and he'll play the Bad Bunny role from last year. Just
I
a big
forgot.
surprise,
I think if he's in there, he'll do better than bad.
I think. Oh damn! I should have picked Jake. I think Jake's gonna show up too.
I hope not. His appearance during the fucking
He might. I think he might show up, dude.
Ugh. I don't know.
Yawn.
Moving on. Also, this whole signing one-time appearances. I don't know about this.
Mickey James did it last year.
Yeah,
I know Mickey James did it, but Mickey James has
There's been
credibility to
there's been a lot of
WWE.
there's been a lot of people that have done it. They fucking the first time they were in San Antonio, they had like 10 AAA stars in the Rumble. Not that many, but they had like 4 or 5 of them for sure.
Yeah, but
It's been done. It's been done quite a bit.
I know it's been done, but that doesn't mean you have to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess just putting Nick Aldis on a one-time appearance.
What else? He's just sitting there rotting on the shelf. Might as well
yeah,
pick him up.
true.
I don't know.
He's
And
peg warming. He's peg warming right now.
Ryback. He might be might come
Oh,
back.
God,
you
please
never know.
no, please.
feed me.
I don't want to
And
see Ryback in any.
Goldberg will be another one. Probably pop in there.
hope not. Number 3, I'm going with Steve Austin because I do
Ooh.
think that we'll get an Austin match at Mania. But it won't be. I don't think he's going to win. It'll probably set up another match in the Rumble. I don't know what that match could be, but
Yeah, I don't know if I want him to wrestle again, man.
That's 3 wrong answers right there.
yeah,
I don't know if I want him
honestly.
wrestling again.
I didn't
Kevin
want
Owens
to pick
match was
what
perfect.
I don't want to pick what everyone else was saying
Because
so
you
I
wanted to
kinda
lose
go
your
different.
title. I get it. That's
I'm
fine.
probably losing my title. I'm not going to lie, but I'd rather lose knowing that I picked the people that I actually think are going that should win.
Yeah.
Real quick. Speaking of just Cardona, real quick. What do y'all make of this whole Zack Ryder trademark stuff?
And the woo woo woo. He
Yeah, and the
trademarked
woo-woo,
that
you
as
know.
well.
I don't know. I think he's just doing it to.
Just
I
to
mean,
do
they
it.
let it.
Just
They
a
let it
bullshit.
go. They let it run out.
I
WWE.
can't believe they did that. But whatever. What a smart move.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
He's good. He's good.
All
I
right.
could see him being in the Rumble too. I won't put him as one of my picks, but I see him getting
As
thrown
Zack
in.
Ryder or as Matt Cardona?
No, he's coming out as Cardona.
Cardona.
I think they'll do something where it's like he comes out as Zack Ryder and then he points to the screen and then it fades into Matt Cardona.
Or maybe he'll be Zach Cardona.
Yeah. 'Cause you can't just I don't think you could bring him in as Matt Cardona. You need to establish that he's Zack Ryder and then be like, this is the new me. I'm Matt Cardona now.
I feel like everyone knows who he is
I mean,
by
the
now.
Royal Rumble is a
He's so
casual
pop.
crowd. You need something to tie
He's
that.
so pop.
So
That's it, right? We got through everything. All the bonus questions.
All 2 hours.
All
2
2
hours
hours.
of
This was a
wrestling.
fucking great episode. This was a fun one.
It was fun.
A great show.
What a great show. With that being said,
Hey, yo.
time to end the show. Thank you so much for listening and or watching to yet another edition of the RAWDOWN. Marco, what's going on with Chick Foley and Open Mic?
You already said new episode out right now. I recorded an episode of Open Mic this past week with a special guest.
Very
Can't
special.
say who.
Yeah,
right
I heard
now.
about this special guest. Yeah.
He's very special.
He's a great guy.
Yes, with J Bone. Yeah, so hopefully we could drop that. Maybe next week, since we have the new episode out this week. But yeah, great conversation.
It really
Definitely
was.
I mean, it was fun. It's always fun talking to J Bone. We get
It
get to learn about J Bone in college, which is pretty fun
Oh
as well.
God, I
so-
don't think I want to know about that.
Oh, I think you do. There's some interesting stories.
You hear the
That's
difference
something,
between John Swallow and J Bone.
Oh yeah, that's the other. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away. Little tidbits, but yeah, we find out. I break down who J Bone is and who John Swallow is.
They're both
learn-
great
You learn
guys.
the difference between the two. But yeah, definitely that was a fun episode. But yeah, obviously, Twitter machine, Chick Foley Show, IG, Chick Foley, chickfoley.com to follow everything. Join the
Yeah.
Facebook group as well.
Join the Facebook group.
Yeah.
And John Swallow or J-Bone, whatever you call yourself. Uncle Howdy. What are you this week? Firefly
Boney.
Funhouse.
I'm Uncle Boney.
Uncle Boney. What do you got going on coming down the aisle?
Well, this week I've got also a great guy. That's my guess. He's a great guy. The one and the only MVP Marco. We
Oh
traded.
shit! Look at that.
Look at
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Just fucking left on the side of the street.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Look at you chopped liver over
Thanks,
there.
guys. I'll be sure to listen on the sidelines.
We watched John Cena versus AJ Styles from Royal Rumble 2017.
Yes.
And so we would check that out. Another also great. Me and Marco talked for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
straight.
that was a long ass. Yeah, that was a long ass night.
And then let's see. And then this week I'm going to be recording the list. We're going to be doing top 10 entrances with me and the Ultimate Miles.
And you can listen to my podcast that features the MVP Marco and J-Bone on this week. We had a great conversation. Tune into the Turnbuckle, the Pod Foundation. We got all
that's
great
great.
shows. Fucking Chick Foley Show, Extra Cooler, Coming Down the Aisle, Turnbuckle Tavern. You name it, we have it. There's something for everyone here at the Pod Foundation. But with that being said, folks, if you like what you heard, and I know that you did, make sure that you go on down, log in, and help support the Turnbuckle Tavern by going to theturnbuckletavern.com. Go on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and listen to our voices. Go on YouTube and Twitch and see our faces. TikTok, Discord, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We got you covered everywhere. Join the community. It's a great place. We also have the merch, prowrestlingtees.com/tavern. If you want that Young Anthony shirt, I hear supplies are running low on that Young Anthony shirt. I guess everyone wants one.
We're
you
running out
can.
of toilet paper. It's like
Yeah, the
2020
toilet
again.
paper joke. Yeah. That's years old. We gotta figure out a new joke. God damn. Going over to Teespring.
Hulk Hogan needs toilet paper. By the way.
Oh my god! I need toilet paper.
Help, dude. That was, oh my god. Teespring, at theturnbuckletavern.com. mugs, stickers, everything with the RAWDOWN logo, because you know that you can't get that on Pro Wrestling Tees because they won't allow it. And then call the tavern. 304-404-2004 is the number to call to hear your message played on the flagship show. Call the tavern. Tell us something. Did you like this episode of the RAWDOWN? I bet you did. Let us know why. Down over on the hotline, 304-404-2004 is the number to call. Once again, that's 304-404-2004. One last thing before we wrap up the episode. Wanted to mention this. Wanted to mention it earlier, but forgot to. Shout out to Tom. Hope everything's going well with him. Keeping you in your thoughts, prayers, and just hope everything goes well on your end.
All the love to OG Fig Mom.
Always. But with that being said, I cannot wait until I'm holding my bright and shiny RAWDOWN Championship next week when I win and retain my title, like it's gonna happen. Maybe it'll happen. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. But until then,
Life sucks, and then you die.